Okay, finally, we're here with these two handsome men over here.
What's up?
Mr. Niles Elliott, who was actually in one of our podcasts before, but he ruined it for some reason. I don't know.
Fuck Shoney's.
Yeah. And then old Jamie Mary over here with the band Jamie Mary and the Parts Supply. And I did have a question lined up for you guys. How did you guys come together?
How did we start, Rambo?
Just the whole band with everybody.
Oh, the love of each other, and
I think is that right? Just loving on each other.
Love
brings us together.
Something I don't remember what the initial thing that got us there, but we all showed up at Ian's place.
Okay.
And
which I know Cody over here doesn't know any of these people.
that was when we just played for like 4 hours.
Wow.
Like just jamming
Nice.
when we started.
Nice.
Yeah, quite a few songs came out of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just riffing, just going into.
Yeah, mainly Niles doing what he does best.
Oh,
And
shit.
you just kind of
Yeah.
feed off of that.
That's what he does. He just goes off and does whatever. You know?
Yeah.
Man, I gotta check it out sometime.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you guys live or anything or perform.
I mean, they've been at Five Rivers several times. Like,
That's a prerequisite of being on this podcast.
yeah, Niles.
That's the thing. It's like we got the yin and yang. He knows a lot about it, and I don't really know too much, so I get to ask like the stupid questions.
No, we all just clicked. We just played really well together.
I guess another question I would have is like, where does Chuck come into this?
Who's Chuck?
Chuck is their
Space
keyboardist.
Cowboy.
Space
Space
Cowboy.
Cowboy.
Yeah. Chaz Master Flash. Troubleshooter.
Troubleshooter.
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
We call him Space.
Space. Why did you call him Space? Okay. Well, I was just wondering. He's just so much older than everybody else, and I was just.
How old is he?
He played for
What's his name? Johnny?
Johnny Paycheck.
Johnny Paycheck. A lot of people don't know who Johnny Paycheck is.
It sounds.
I definitely.
Take this job and shove it.
Oh no way!
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Shit, I don't know. I don't know.
But yeah, he's just a music lover and collector. And
Yeah.
Well, that's cool because I was always wondering that. I mean, besides him, who's the oldest? Ian.
I think so.
I think I am.
You are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old are you?
35.
34, right?
Wow.
Jamie's real mysterious.
Okay, I always
I'm
thought
the
it was
youngest,
Ian.
I know that.
Yeah, I knew that.
And
Always
you're
like this.
15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wish I was 15 with a beard
Barely
like
legal.
that. As he sips his beer.
I can't wait to get my learner's permit. I'm telling you what.
Shit, no, I was always wondering that because, like, there was always one thing weird that I always noted about bands. It's like, you know, you go to a concert and everything, like, say one person starts, like, strumming a guitar and everything, but when everybody's, like, put together, it's like you never know what you're listening to sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I've always tried to, like, listen to a band at a concert live, and I'll be sitting there just, like, focusing on one set that's going on and trying to, like, block out everything else.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, sometimes, like, you never know what you're listening to, but once people start, like, stop playing, then you realize, like, everybody together makes that everything, you know, all
You're
together.
right, yeah.
You know, and I feel like,
One big machine.
yeah.
All playing its part.
But I'll be honest, I feel like the thing you hear the least is, like, the keyboard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's like probably it's probably just all around. You hear it all the whole time, but you just don't notice it.
Yeah, that's,
It's like if it wasn't
yeah.
there, you would notice it's
Right.
missing. Yeah.
It fills the room.
That's
so
cool.
much.
Yeah, I find that really interesting. And I really like bands that are just, like, straight bass almost, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
not like the dude for South Park, but whatever his name is. The guy who did the intro for South Park.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's his name?
I don't know.
I'll look it up.
I don't know. Hey, is that an empty glass right there, Cody?
Yeah. Yes, John. that is a.
Welcome to the podcast.
Next segment, is that glass empty or not? Fans are wanting to know.
Well, when I meant empty,
It's not now.
when I said empty, I meant clean. You know, did it have anything in it?
Maybe you should use that.
Debris.
Anybody?
It's clean.
Oh, I can deal with dirt. I can't deal with
I'll
other
have
drinks.
just a little horn.
All right.
Don't mind.
Little horn filled with whole glass.
Is that good?
Yes.
Okay.
Is
It's-
that Roberto?
Yes, it is.
You want to check it out?
It's
It's the best smelling wine I've ever had.
it's very calm
Yeah.
tasting with a smell of
Cannot
poop.
It smells like shit.
It literally
It just smells terrible.
literally smells
Smell
like
it.
poop.
Seriously. Get away with that.
Get out, whiff.
But it doesn't
I-
have much of a taste, which I don't.
That smells pretty bad.
It smells crazy, don't it?
Smells different.
Only to the untrained eye.
I thought it would be nose. That one.
Yes.
I don't know. It didn't. I mean, that's a parable, right?
What's that? This was made in a very hot summer where swamp ass was rampant through the creeks.
I mean, he brought that bottle and I thought it was vodka at first.
I thought it was too.
Yeah, I was like, shit.
He was like, "Is that on vodka?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, we're partying."
Fuck, I don't need that.
About 2 bottles.
Like, I'll take a sip, but I ain't fucking drinking all that shit. That's bad. I might die. We'll forget to stop recording this and just be us, like, being stupid.
Drunk.
Yeah, pretty much like
Is
all
that it?
things,
Is that-
you know? Yeah, Les Claypool, that's who it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
I was like, I don't even know if I want to try to pronounce that fucking first and last name.
Primus, yes.
Oh, yeah. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, he did the intro for South Park. He's here, bring, however it goes, you know?
Yeah.
It's definitely not who I was thinking of. So.
Me either. It wasn't. Who were you thinking of?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Not Les Claypool.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking of him. I was definitely thinking of somebody else, but I couldn't remember their name.
I remember Joe Sexton always told me like he was a big fan of the guy that made the Squidbillies intro.
Oh, I don't know who that is. I
can't
never really
remember,
watched
but
Squid
I can't remember.
Billies.
He would always tell me something about it. He always had like really cool facts to tell me about like random things like that. And he was just like, yeah. He's like, you should check out that guy's music.
Hey guys. I'm Meatball.
That shit's fucking wild.
So, I have one question, and if I'm getting too personal with you guys, just tell me to shut up.
One question.
Now, I'll have very many more,
Please
okay?
go first.
Yeah. When'd you first get your period?
Hey, let's actually move this a little closer.
Is it clipping?
I'm just gonna bang on
Are you
there.
trying to get some ASMR right there?
That's right. That's exactly
Let's
right.
clip it a little bit.
Huh?
What?
Clip it a little bit.
Oh, I don't know what you mean by
Seeing
that.
the red light
Yeah.
flashing, but
Oh, okay, shit. I can't see it. Well, anyway,
it's really tiny.
stop sucking the mic's dick, okay?
We're getting personal. This is what the people want.
None of that made it happy at all.
we need that. We need a screen over it.
Yeah. Turn away from Niles. Niles is gonna be concentrating on that the whole time.
Shit. Well, anyway, how did you come up with your guys' band name? I mean, clearly,
Oh,
Oh, that's all.
James Mary and the Par Supply.
yes.
James Mary is my grandpa, not me. it's me.
Did he have or there was a Rodney Parts Supply, right? In Rodney?
Rodney Supply.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's real close to my parents' house. That's why. I was wondering that.
That's my raisin. That's where I grew up in a parts. Whatever.
And a Parts Supply.
Parts supply. It's cute.
Is all your
It's
family,
damn cute.
all your family knows that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, yeah, because I got to talk to you before. I know a lot of the Marys, and you said, but they didn't own the gas company there, did they? That was
Yeah, no, that's Bobby's or Valerie, Bobby and
oh,
Valerie.
okay. That's
Valerie Jordan.
Okay, I was wondering. I always
Mary.
forget that. Alrighty, that's cool. I was just curious.
Little plug-ins there.
No.
Oh, there's some shameless plugs right there. no.
Well, I knew that store was always there, and like I have people ask me all the time. Or my last name's Holly,
Yeah.
and I always ask me if I was related to like John Paul and everything. And I was, or I am, or was technically, I guess.
Yeah.
But I never really knew him, and I only met him like maybe 2 or 3 times, but we weren't really close.
Yeah.
And so I was like talking to my dad the other day about about this going on, you know, and I was like the band name and everything because I tried to get them to come out to Five Rivers sometimes to see you guys play or like even Twisted Vine or anything.
Yeah.
And he's like, because we were literally going past it. He was like, oh yeah, well there was a parts supply right there, you know. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh well, maybe that's what it is because I think it's on your Instagram. It says. I think it says Rodney as like the location is Rodney.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
okay, so
Yeah.
yeah,
It was
that's pretty
either that or.
Or actual addresses.
Yeah.
Socials.
We're going out to Mudsock out here and see
What's your banking
the
information? I forgot.
Yeah. I'll tell you after.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we'll keep recording
Yeah,
anyway.
dude, recap on that. yeah. I'm not wearing a wire.
Well, okay. So when are you guys playing again? Is it going to be just the Black Sheep?
It should
Is that
come
what
out
it's
pretty
called?
soon, so it
Yeah.
should be. I mean, we'll have some listeners and listening, maybe be able to find you.
December 4th.
Fourth.
Number
Where-
4.
where at?
December. Huntington. Black Sheep.
Black Sheep in Huntington. Is that a bar? What is that?
Yeah,
It's a
restaurant
restaurant. Yeah.
bar.
Okay.
Barritos place.
Is there a certain time?
Oh.
It's right on Pullman Square.
Is there a certain time you'll be there?
Okay. Okay.
So.
Are
We-
you 9?
9.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Nine.
you're good. You don't gotta apologize either.
Well, let's say so. It'd be November 4th of the Black Sheep in Huntington. That's
December 4th, not November 4th.
oh my bad. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. Okay.
Get it right, John. That was in the past.
Sorry. December 4th.
Let things stay there.
December 4th, Huntington Black Sheep. Okay. Well, that wasn't too far where we were at. Was that last weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
At The Loud.
Loud.
Okay.
Or a PV club.
Yeah, that was the first time I'd ever been there. You ever been down there? It was the V Club,
Where's that?
Huntington.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was a pretty nice place, honestly. They were definitely doing a lot of, like, remodeling.
Yeah,
Where's
they
that?
redone it all.
Like in Huntington.
No fucking idea. He drove.
You don't pay attention to all yours.
It's just,
Yeah, I just look at my feet the whole time.
like you've been to Pullman
Wait a
Square,
minute.
right? In
Yeah,
Huntington?
yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a couple blocks
Is it-
over.
Like headed toward, like almost like away from the river. Is that?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I might
think it's
know.
on 7th?
It's right on the corner, too.
Yeah,
Like,
fifth
no
is
parking at all.
5th, I think, yeah. But,
Pretty good
Black Sheep-
location for no
Black
parking.
Sheep is in Pullman. So.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I know that area, but I mean, I'd be able to find it if you guys perform there again or something. Shout out to that. What's that place called again? What was it?
The Loud.
The Loud.
The
Yeah,
Loud.
they
Yeah,
changed
shout
it
out
to The Loud.
I know they're listening.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, they had like 3 musicians playing, which you guys knew. 2 of them? Was it?
Yes, 2 of them. Yeah, it wasn't for sure about the opener.
Yeah, I don't know. I had no idea who any of them were, but it was a good time. I mean, we pretty much spent most of our time outside, you know. So we really did.
With tents getting thrown up on apparently.
It was so fucking cold though. It was so cold, like.
It was cold that night.
Yeah. No, it was fun though. And then, yeah, of course, Niles was driving, like I just said, but we took the fucking longest way out of there when we
We
left.
really did.
Did you?
Yeah.
We went up 775, which takes you
Oh, yeah.
completely like around Gallipolis, like all the way
Yeah, you
around
went far.
From where?
That's like
Where'd
2
you leave
hours.
from?
Huntington.
What made you do that?
I really
You're like this direction.
don't think I could, because it was like 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
It was so late.
So I was like, I really don't think I remember how the detour.
Yeah.
Well,
to-
it literally comes to a
Seven.
point where like
because
It's to a
of
point.
the road construction and stuff.
Yeah.
That is a bitch right now.
It literally breaks off to 7.
Yeah.
It is tough.
Like,
But I just went the way I do, you know.
Right, because
I grew up on 775, so
Yeah, so you took a harder route.
if you were in Huntington, you could have went to the West Virginia
I
side
had all
and made
that
it
like the back of my head.
Yeah.
So.
well, yeah, we could have taken Route 2, which that
Yeah.
road's terrible though. That road
Yeah,
fucking
but-
sucks.
Yeah, it's not the longest way. Like, if you're time consuming.
Well, I mean, either take a long way or destroy your car. I mean, it's like it depends on that, you know.
Yeah, we were almost out of gas. We were running on fumes.
Oh yeah, you didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me that until we got to like 141.
Until we got.
You're cool as a cucumber.
Until we
I
didn't realize how long by the time we got the mud sock that my gas light had been on for I don't know how
The whole time, probably before we got to Huntington.
Oh my god!
No, there's no way we would not have made
No.
it.
even though we parked at a gas station to go to the shows, we still didn't get gas.
I know. He's like, I know my car.
It's just an adventure, John.
It was. I had a good time. I mean, on the way back, like,
gas, or, you know.
dude, on the way back, we were just jamming the whole time, just like, yeah. I think we were listening to like, Young the Giant, the whole fucking way home, like, just. We listened to like 3 albums the whole way.
I just love the thinking with John in the back, like, yeah! So he said it 50 times! You get it, you're having a good time.
Shit, dude, we almost hit a buck, too, on the way. Like, we almost hit a dead deer right in the middle of the fucking road. And then coming around the turd, there was just a big-ass buck standing there just staring at us. Like, like what the fuck?
It's actually funny because I took the construction, like the detour for Route 7, and
Which is 218.
Whatever it is. I mean,
Well, that's what we were going to take. We couldn't figure out how. That's why it was like 775.
it was funny because I clipped a deer. Like, I hit the back of its, like, feet. And I mean, I slammed on my brakes so hard because I came around a corner, and, like, fucking he just runs out. And I mean, I clipped the back of his legs, and I hit the brakes so hard, like, smoke rolled past my car whenever I was done. I was like, holy shit. Like, I felt like Vin Diesel, like, you know, I was like, Dom, I was like, ain't nothing but family, and I'm full pull off, you know, like, I'm drifting out of there.
Shit. Yeah, no, it was,
That hybrid can handle it, man, that hybrid.
shit, you should have been there, because, like, before we went to the show, like, before they opened the doors, actually, we walked in there, and they're like, hey, doors aren't open until 8. I'm like, well, we just walked in. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Doors are open. And, like, so we just, like, walked outside and stood there for, like, 10 seconds. I'm like, I'm gonna go fucking get some food from Sheetz, is where we parked. Like, literally right next door. Like, and that's where we parked, because there's absolutely no parking there. Like, it's
The doors don't open till 8. Like, that's completely wrong. I just
yeah,
that is capable of happening before that time period.
Dude, so we walked over to Sheetz, and I fucking got this big ass burrito, dude. That thing was huge. Dude. I mean, yeah, dude, that thing was like this fucking big. Yeah. And like, so I walked around just eating this thing. It came like 8 o'clock. Oh, well, I didn't want to lose any of it. I was like,
ain't nobody getting this motherfucker.
So we finally walked into the Loud, and like, and they had this really nice bar. It's like fucking granite all the way through there. Yeah. Anyway, I walked in and I just sat down, like, looking, make sure nobody's like, get out of here with that. And I'm like, okay. So I sat down at the bar. I sat down at the bar just like, and the guy comes over. I could tell he was like the owner or something because he was there the first time we walked in.
He was the guy who told us the doors.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, he was super cool after we came over.
Right.
I just got
super interested in John's burrito.
He was, dude. So many people were like, I walked over there and he's like, I was like, can I have this in here? And he's like, are you even allowed to be in here? And I'm like, yeah, here's my money. And he gave me like a little wristband and everything. And I sat down. He's like, hey, let me help you out. And he ripped off this big ass piece of paper towel, sat it next to me. He's like, here's another in case you need a bid. Sat down. I'm just eating. I was like, thanks, dude. He's like, where'd you get that? I'm like, sheets and everything. Then like 5 people walking after us. And like I could hear people talking about my fucking burrito, and like they're like, "Dude, they sell food here." And I turn around, and they're like, "Hey, do they sell food?" I'm like, "No, you gotta go to Sheetz and get this." And everybody they fucking left and went to Sheetz and got some fucking burritos.
Hey, Sheetz, if you listen, we got your next spokesperson right here. The salesman's making you money.
Dude, that thing was fucking huge.
Dude, that's hilarious.
It was awesome.
I would just love to see, because especially if he's really holding it like he did. he's like,
I got it wrapped. I mean, when
only source of warmth.
Like I put it,
just rubbing it on his skin. He's like, damn, that foil feels good.
I put it like inside my jacket like this, so I just look around and then just like, oh, I want to bite. And then just like,
someone's like, your core temperature's warm. You're like, yeah, I got this bad boy. I keep that in my inside pocket. Just in case if I ever need it.
It was a good time though. Like it was good. I don't even know. Like I don't even know what to say now. It was just fucking. It was kind of weird, honestly. That place was just the whole vibe was kind of weird. I feel like.
That sounds like a great vibe. I don't understand. It sounds like
Sheets.
Oh yeah, the Sheets is always weird time you go in there.
Scary.
Like,
So
well, it's
scary.
funny because like when we left, we went back in there to get more food. Niles ordered 2 hot dogs. And Jamie, I know you know how Niles likes his hot dogs. Okay, and like so like I ordered. Well, like I walked in there after him, ordered a fucking pretzel. You know, it wasn't no mall pretzel. You know, it kind of sucked ass. But like somebody got his food before Niles, then I got my food before Niles, and then somebody else got their
Everybody
food.
else was getting their food before me.
I went out in the car, started up, warmed it up, ate my pretzel, and Niles finally walks in. He's like, "God damn, that took so long." He's like, "I fucking did."
Was it good?
Yeah, man.
Well, so
It was a mess, dude. It was a fucking gooey mess, though. He had
Great drunk food.
hot dogs always are, though, dude.
you can't go wrong.
Staple.
Because a hot dog can't really. If a hot dog's bad, that's a bad hot dog. But you can't really.
Well, yeah.
you can't mess up a hot dog though. Is what I'm saying.
pretty hard.
You gotta really. It's gotta really be bad. Like
Well, no, he got
it's gotta
fucking,
be like mush.
he got ketchup, mustard, and cheese, and he opened that thing up, dude. I wouldn't have eaten it. It looked so nasty, and dude, he just slobbered that thing down. And he's like,
Hold down his gullet.
dude, he looked at me after. He was like, dude, that's a good ass hot dog. Yes, like, I was like, fuck. And then
He's covered in mustard. I'm quitting.
I'm covered in cheese.
Take me home.
And then he rolled a second one up, and he put it behind, and he looked at me again. He's like, "I'll save that one for later."
He puts it in his pocket. He's like, "Where'd you put that burrito earlier, man? I want to keep it."
You're a saving guy? You gotta save shit? You gotta save?
Yeah.
You save drinks?
No, it's the same drinks.
No, he slurps them down. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like you get a Coke, you save it maybe? You get
For later?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, sometimes.
Like to
I
sip
mean,
on
that's
like,
what we did for the Loud. We had Cokes in the car and left them.
Are you like I gotta have it now kind of guy?
I
Is
think
that what you're saying?
that I had with me, I had saved for like 2 days before that.
Well, I think
Oh, wait, hang on.
he's a real savior.
Did you keep it on you? You
I
get it on his wallet?
I bought it for the occasion, you know?
And what-
3 days later, it's
what was
finally
it?
here.
What was it?
It's Coke Zero.
They don't sell these at like other.
Cheese.
Look, man.
You're like, I got one location
No,
I can find this.
he drives his car every day, so he just sipped on it till then. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah. Except for that hot dog.
No,
he
I
didn't
just-
sip on a hot dog. He eat the shit out of it.
I'd like to say I can sip a hot dog. I don't know. I mean, if we put a straw in a hot dog, I'm gonna be kind of curious.
What about you, Jamie? Do you like hot dogs?
Hot dogs.
Are you a brats guy?
Go with the comment section if you like hot dogs.
Try not to.
Yeah,
But-
they take like a minute off your life or something.
Yeah, hot dogs are pretty gross.
That's a pretty good minute. Well, it takes me 2 minutes to eat a hot dog, so it's like, you know. I don't know.
That's
You
4
lose
minutes.
one.
Oh my god.
Is that how it works? It's like the longer it takes you to eat it. Like,
I don't know.
I tell you what, like me and Rebecca went to, I think it was Five Rivers one night when you guys were playing, and we were pretty trashed. Okay, we went to Speedway. She's like, "I want to get some food at Speedway." I'm like, "Let's just go home."
Yeah.
And she got those like mini corn dogs.
Oh, yeah.
You know
Those
what
are
I mean?
good.
Dude, those are good drunk food.
I do love
Those are
corn
good.
dogs.
Yeah,
I'm a big corn dog.
And they're each
You got me
like-
there.
Yeah,
You got
corn
me
dog.
there.
Let me get a corn dog. Yeah.
Finger guns.
Tell me more about these corn dogs.
Well, then they're like,
You got one in your back pocket?
they're like 2 inches long and the size of
Little
Cody's
big
dick,
like
and
that.
like, oh, dude, you just scarf those things down, like, because when it's like 3 in the morning and I'm super drunk, I'm not really hungry, like,
For one, it's
you
also
know?
it's good drunk food because it's not really messy. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you can pop them things like popcorn. You're like, oh, let me just
right, yeah,
let me get 18 of these, and you know,
18. Why that
Yeah.
specific number?
because I don't know, 20's too much, but 16's not enough. I don't know.
Well, that's
They come in orders of 9. I don't know.
Logic.
Okay, I respect that. No, like what I was saying is like,
All right. Yeah. All right.
no. What I was saying is like, at 3 in the morning when I'm drunk, I'm just want to sleep, but I'm too drunk to sleep. I'm not hungry, and she like has this fucking box of these corn dogs, little mini corn dogs. I'm like, fine, I'll get some, I'll try. And I was like, I have no high expectations for this. And I ate one of those, and it's just like, I was like, oh my god, this is fucking good, dude. I didn't even get through one of them. But we got them a second time, and they weren't as fulfilling as the first time. I was pretty sad.
Well, you probably had the expectations of like you thinking it's gonna be super good that time. You went into the first batch thinking like this ain't gonna be shit, and then it was. Probably average. It was probably average, and then you were probably like,
no, it was just shit.
I can't wait for this mouth orgasm. Like, let's go ahead.
No, it was just shitty. That's all it was shitty.
The good stuff. Mr. Mondavi.
What?
Mr. Mondavi.
Who the fuck is that?
Robot.
Oh, Bob Mondavi, as I call him.
I just drink. I don't know how to read. I just drink. I don't know how to read.
I would love to know if that guy hated to be ever called Bob or something. Like, you know, he finds this podcast. He's like, them motherfuckers.
They
said it smelled like shit.
I'm sure he listens.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he picks us out of a crowd and listens to us. You know,
it's like that one episode of Family Guy. It was like Matthew Perry. Like, remember Meg? Like, or Peter made like a newspaper article that said Matthew Perry was gay, and it was like he was like, I'll be right there, honey. I'm just checking every local high school newspaper to see if I'm mentioned. That'll be him.
Oh, that'd be cool. And he just calls us out and be like, "Hey, you want some free wine for your podcast?" Like, fuck yeah, dude, bring it on. Even though they suck ass, dude. That wine suck, dude.
Please don't bring this one. This one sucks. This is his private selection too. It says, Jesus.
I'm sure they all say that. Did you get that Smoking Robs? Yeah, I'm sure it's his private selection.
You don't know this guy personally. I'm like, he's all freaking out right now. He's like, motherfucker.
Well, yeah, what's so private? Did he pee in it a little bit?
Yeah, what? I mean, I can see it. I purchased it pretty easily. It wasn't too private. I didn't need a special card. You know, I didn't walk in and type in a code or nothing. I mean, they handed it to me. I don't know.
It's not private if it's been shared, you know?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Let me get something out of my private collection, a.k.a. 7-Eleven. Let me
It's that Go-Mart selection.
Let's get down there and pick that out.
The 7-Eleven still exists? I mean, I'm just
not around here. I mean, they do.
They do?
They're no, I mean, they're not.
Not around here. Yeah, we got Go-Mart.
7 around here.
Speedway sells 7-Eleven stuff.
What?
Wait, what?
Speedway sells 7-Eleven stuff.
Yeah. I think it's like Go-Mart and Speedway, like kind of like a mix of like different things like 7-Eleven sells.
Huh.
I feel like I think like Go-Mart almost has like a more 7-Eleven vibe.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, I do. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I guess it. Yeah, I guess
I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. I don't go to many gas stations. Okay.
I feel like this has been a very like.
That's all I did.
Like gas station food podcast.
Like that's what I lived on for years. Just gas station to gas station.
Yeah. What's your favorite? What's your favorite gas station?
Probably the Dairy Farmer one.
Or what's your favorite food from there?
Oh.
Because if you lived off of it, you gotta have like.
I got it. Burritos from Sheets. Burritos from Sheets.
Fuck it, Sheets.
That's
If
right.
I ate anything, I ate protein bars. That was just like way overpriced, but filled you up.
Yeah.
And were gross.
Yeah. My buddy Dustin was like trying to like he has like really high metabolism, and so like he was trying to like bulk up. He would go into like Go-Mart and buy like that cookie dough. Protein bar, and he'd come out and he'd be like, "This fucking sucks." I'm like, "Why'd you buy it?" And he's like, "Cause I'm trying to do something." I'm like, "Okay, man."
Yeah, he is very lanky. I would say that. Shit, no, fucking when I was living in like Akron and shit, I'd always go to the Sheets. Like that's where everybody there would go for lunch. You get like an hour lunch, everybody just drive to Sheets, just eat there together. You know, but like at my last job, I'd just literally get like a can of nuts and just eat a few handfuls of those, and they'd time me off for like the next hour, and then I just eat a little bit more, and and it's like
nuts.
Nuts are tasty.
Nuts. Yeah, nuts are great. They fill you up, and you just like peanut butter.
I
stick
love
with you all day, man.
Yeah, like I love getting me a mouthful of nuts.
Let me tell you about it.
Can't go wrong with a mouthful of nuts.
Let me talk about them cashews for a hot second.
Cashews are good.
I like cashews. I'm a big
I
fan.
actually don't really. I don't.
I like
Yeah.
the honey roasted. I like the honey roasted peanuts too. I don't know if you're a big fan of that.
Yeah.
Those are like a dessert almost. Like
They are.
They're almost like you feel like you're not eating what you're trying to. You're like,
No,
I'm
so many
cheating
things
on
you're
myself with this. Like, you know, like.
We got a whole pack. You want one?
Yeah, I was gonna say like.
You want
Take
that?
that.
I'll trade you something
good,
for
I
a
got-
bottle.
You don't have to
sipping
trade
on
me
this one.
anything.
Shit, is this a
It's
twist?
kind of like a fancier Bud Light. It's just more flavorful.
It's a lot more flavor.
It's hot.
Are these poppies or these twisties?
They're twisties.
You good?
Get it. Get
God.
You gotta bang it on the table a little bit.
Use your teeth.
My teeth.
Yeah. That's how I do it.
No, I'm good.
Just want to seem like a crazy person in here, just fucking yanking.
To turn away from
Use your
twisties
eyeball.
and nuts.
Well, that was a good conversation.
It's alright.
I want more nut conversation.
I'm tired of talking about nuts. Let's talk about long things, okay? You know what I'm
Long?
saying?
Well, we didn't talk about corn dogs or hot dogs long enough.
Okay. No, serious though. This is something that I've actually been wanting to ask you guys because I'm kind of stupid. Is when you guys are
You're not
playing,
stupid, John.
let's go back. Okay, I'm just a little slow. Okay, so when it comes back to like
Different.
just different, you know, just different.
You guys just remind me like you're on weed. You just smoked some weed.
I wish I was. He's supposed to
that'd
be
be great.
son, you know, like.
I was?
I enjoy
You
it.
didn't get that text?
No.
Oh, because you don't have an iPhone. That's why.
Shout out to Android. 80% of the world, baby.
He enjoys not having an iPhone.
Well, I am.
It's like part of my personality.
That's funny. Like I was about to say, like, is that part of your personality? Like,
I
there's
can
that
see
guy that's
that.
always got their phone that's dead. He's like, it's a part of my personality. Like, when someone thinks of me, they're like, his phone's never on.
Yeah, like, I can feel like I only half charge my phone, like 44%. That's part
You
of my
half
personality.
charge it, like you wake up in the middle of the night, like, that's good.
No, I just don't plug it in at night. You know, like, that's it.
It's
No,
just, it's like
like-
a hobby.
Yeah.
It's like a hobby of yours.
Well, you gotta get a phone that like lets you know like people text you, man.
Yeah.
That's why I message you on Instagram now, because I know you won't get that text.
I just can't stand.
You don't get text, do you?
I can't stand notifications, so I usually just turn them all off.
Oh yeah, all of mine are
Why
turned
is
off
that?
too. Yeah.
Why do
You
you
just
not
have to do
like
this.
Stand it.
Yes.
Just
I know the
Already
I know the ones that are bullshit.
I
Like I know that don't mean nothing.
I get like 1,000 emails a day, so
oh yeah, yeah.
Why don't I have my emails
Yeah.
on? I have my.
I know, but I at my job.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
for
just
sure,
gonna
job.
scream,
Yeah,
Getting
Oh,
tons of emails every day.
yeah.
It's nice to step away.
Like when it comes to like
answer emails.
that's what we need to get a hold of them
Yeah.
now.
Emails.
I get
Urgent.
paid to answer texts.
urgent from John Holly.
Yeah.
Where's that weed at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like
No,
I.
I'll try to be better. I'll work on that.
All right.
He's
Well,
opening up he's opening up 4 emails and it's just that from you.
Just set as mental notification.
Yeah.
Email me.
I'll start
I check my
emailing.
email every day.
Well, so do I, but I used to get a lot
You
of
check it every day,
emails.
but you
And,
do
like,
it once. I can do that once a day.
There's a certain window that you can only keep in contact.
What time is it? 12:30.
no, it's 1:30 and 2:30 in the morning. That's when it is.
You can
He wakes up
contact
to pee
Niles.
in the middle of the night. And
Yeah.
he checks it.
You
They're
can
like-
contact Niles at nileselliot44@gmail.com.
Oh, shit.
Oh, there we go.
You don't like notifications? You gonna
Send me
get
some
them.
deals.
You gonna get these emails now.
No, I already have this email.
That'll be
there,
what we
so-
name this one. You know, the title of this shit's just an email.
His email address.
What? You look for $100 great prize message.
No, it's gonna be Jamie Mary and Niles Elliott 44 at gmail.com.
It's just a long. This whole conversation's just.
John's
What
not
happened
asking questions. Sorry.
Yeah, wait.
Well,
what's our question? Yeah, what was your question? I'm sorry.
Oh, you mean from like 3 hours ago?
Email address.
Hey, what's his email, huh?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, it's probably... Oh, anyway.
He's saying it was address. Like, give me that.
That's what- yeah.
Well, we know where the store was. I mean, that even that's been shut down. But anyway, I don't fucking remember what I was going to ask. Shit.
Was it some actually music related?
It was actually, yes, because I actually do remember it. But I was going to go on with the conversation we were just having about email addresses.
It's okay.
Well, okay, to continue the conversation, like, I have all my notification or like things turned off as well, except for like text, and work emails, and excuse me, I think that's it.
That burp was part of the things that he has, like, not notified.
Oh yes, and burp notification.
That sound effect.
No, what I was gonna say is like, okay, so like where you're like the singer and everything, Jamie, and like, so I always wondered like how does like the lead work of like guitarist? Like, is it you're the singer, so like are you the lead? Do you like how do?
What's the roles of the band? Kind of is that like
Pretty much. Well, I mean, I know basically the roles of the band: drummer, bassist, guitar. You know,
but there's some
but
like,
between
bands
you
that-
two, yeah, between you
Yeah,
two.
but there's like what I'm saying is like there's some people in the band that can have different like roles, not just by the instrument they play, but like
right.
like songwriting and
Yeah. So like
getting gigs. And
So like so Jamie, when you play, so say you're singing a song, are you playing like one like chord the whole time, or like are you changing it the entire time? Like I always wondered how that works because
I mean, a chord progression. So
okay.
Chord progressions consist of multiple chords.
Right, but I always wonder because like I'll be like sitting there like looking away, and I'll know when you start playing. Niles.
So I'm technically the lead guitarist.
Okay, so you would be the lead.
Yeah, and Jamie would be the rhythm.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So that's what I was wondering because I never knew how that
Jamie's
worked.
lead singer, and I do
Right.
harmonies, backup singing.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. You guys.
Yeah.
Have
He's
you
like, I'm
guys-
the bouncer. I do everything.
Yeah. Okay. That's like me. I do all the stuff on here for me and Cody's podcast, and you don't do shit. But anyway.
So if you ever hear any problems with the technical difficulties,
It's-
that's up this guy's alley. Worry about that sound quality? Don't worry about me.
Well, actually, Niles, I talked to Kyle today about,
Oh, yeah.
about all
It's
his
his
like.
birthday.
I
Happy birthday,
texted
Kyle.
him that too. Yeah, and but like no, where he makes those dragon things out of like wine bottles.
Fuck yeah.
He makes sculptures. Like
Is
now,
it
I
like-
haven't seen
you have a
any of
picture?
them. No, he said he's gonna give me a picture, and I haven't gotten it yet, motherfucker. So like, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna we're gonna get him on here one day and like and then he's gonna give us a couple sculptures for free because we have a few
cool.
wine
Very cool.
glasses here.
Cool,
Yeah,
that's
so,
awesome, man. That'd be great.
Yeah,
That's
he
awesome.
melts wine glasses. It makes
He's a
sense.
glass blower.
Yeah. He what he said he does is he takes like the neck of it, stretches it, and turns it into like
Oh, very cool.
That's really,
Yeah.
it's really creative.
Yeah.
So you can reuse glass.
Yeah.
which is pretty tough. I mean, honestly, like, I mean, you ever put like a bottle, like a beer bottle, in a fire or something, and like rarely one will melt. Rather, most of them just kind of break.
Yeah, it'll just
Well,
shatter.
Yeah.
you think it's just because of the temperature of the fire itself? Like, if it's like,
Well-
probably do you have to have like whatever you're putting the metal in to melt it? It has to already be like, molten level, and then that way when it's put in,
Well,
it's-
really, I feel like the progression of heat would be better. Like,
He probably knows the thickness of glass just by
right.
yeah, knows what metal knows what bottles that he can
He's
use.
been doing it for a long time. That's how I met Kyle.
Oh, really? Nice.
Before I worked for the Calling Club, and I
Mhm.
just moved back here. It was the first Friday, and he was doing glass blowing outside of
I've seen him
the
do it.
Quality Club.
I've seen him do it from that.
I never saw him
That's how
do
we
it.
met.
It's actually
Oh,
pretty
nice. I think I just met him through you, probably. Niles. So.
We ended up working together. So.
Oh, wait,
He
he
was
worked.
bartender at Colony.
Oh, maybe that's how I met him because there was always Biscuit there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cody, the guy's name there was Biscuit. Did you know him, Jamie?
Didn't-
Dude, I fucking loved going to the Colony. I miss that
I
place
do too.
so
I
much.
loved like the walking in and seeing like the old films that were playing and stuff, and you could sit down like.
I never gave two shits about that. They always gave me free, they always gave me free drinks, dude. Okay.
I mean,
I
like,
still got a colony token.
Yeah.
Damn, I got shut in. You knock on like the other door. Like, hey man.
No, I actually
actually
like I actually do like enjoy like the films and everything, and actually
the
I
atmosphere.
yeah I loved it, but I had so much advice to give them that they could have did so much better, but like and me and you talked about Nas about like how I could rent a night out there, and you were like they said $2,000. I'm like fuck, like and I'm like
You know how much it was like to rent a movie theater, like the Two Bears 1K podcast with like Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer. They rented out like a whole movie theater to watch Bert's new movie that he has coming out.
Yeah.
And he said people probably won't believe how much it costs because they're thinking, oh, it's you guys that they're like renting it out to. He's like, no. He was like, this was like a standard fee, and he was like, no, theirs was like, he said it was $180 for a movie theater, like the whole, like not like the entire theater itself, but you know,
just one screen.
one screen. You know, he's like to rent out the whole thing and sit there, and he said, bro, it was like actually really fun. Like I brought like Chinese food, like I had a whole bunch, and he's like, he said I ran into a guy that was like, you can bring Chinese food here. He's like, I'm gonna do that next time, man. I want Chinese. He's like, can you imagine like him going up to his wife and being like, hey, let's go to the movies. All right, I'm calling China One right now. You want some General Tso's? All right.
No, I mean $180 really like wasn't as much as I thought you were gonna say.
Yeah.
I feel like you could have 18 friends go in there and spend $10 each, and you'd still have probably empty seats and shit. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, like you talked about this last time on our last podcast about like I feel like movie theaters nowadays are super empty, not because of like Rona and everything, just because movie theaters are fucking disgusting. Okay, like
Yeah,
I
wipe
mean,
that shit down.
Jamie, when was the last time you went to a movie theater?
I don't know.
They're gross as fuck, dude. They're so
A
nasty.
couple weeks ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
And you said that movie sucked ass.
What would you watch?
Antlers.
I don't know if it is.
This is a scary movie that came out.
Oh,
Yeah.
I never watched a horror
It
movie.
was terrible, man.
And then the last time I went was with you, Niles, and it sucked too.
Yeah.
What did you guys watch that time?
Spiral.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that one is.
It was the Saw movie.
Oh yeah, no, I've heard of it.
Chris Rock.
Yeah, that movie sucked, dude.
Oh my god.
I'm sitting there like I was
Yeah,
looking at
I
my
remember
girlfriend the
that.
whole time. I'm like, this movie fucking blows. Why are we still here?
Yeah.
Like,
That's the worst.
That's kind of what makes it kind of fun, though.
Yeah.
and we were. I'm pretty sure
Just
that.
seeing a bad movie.
Well, I mean, when you're with your
It
friends,
makes you feel normal again.
Yeah.
Like you're like, man, I'm going to see some stupid thing
Yeah, I
today.
could
It
have
was
done
great.
so much better.
It was so
well,
fun.
that was the last time I was at a movie theater for probably like
Yeah.
5 years or maybe longer.
I
I
think
don't know, I maybe go once a month.
Really?
To the theater?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Date
I'm
or
still-
just go?
He just goes by himself to whack off.
Usually a date.
I know what theater he's in, and I'm always like, hey, Niles, what's going on? He's like, hey, man, what are you doing here?
He sits up front, so when you walk in, you see him.
Once a month might be a stretch, but no, I feel like I go.
A few times a year at least.
Yeah. More than the
What's-
average
what's-
person anymore.
Have you seen a really good film this year?
Honestly, I love The Green Knight.
The Green Knight.
Yeah.
I know.
Never seen it.
No, I think I've heard of it.
They recreated it. It's an old. It was like a. They don't know the original writer, but it was written like in medieval times,
No way.
and they recreated it. Tolkien did a version. A bunch of authors did their own version, and but yeah, it's this like super surreal medieval adventure, and
That's
it's
cool.
really wild.
neat.
I recommend it because it's like a
Alright.
cinematic masterpiece.
Do I have to go to the theater to see it?
No, not anymore. It's not.
Okay.
You can rent it.
he goes to the local theater. He's just like, hey, yeah, one for the Green Knight. They're like, huh?
They were like, when we went and saw Spiral, I feel like we were the only people in that theater. So, like,
Yeah,
I'm not paying $180 around a theater. I'll just
I
go to a
went
normal
I
one.
went and saw Antlers with two other friends.
Yeah,
and
that
there
was
literally just like 4 other people in there.
That would suck to
Really?
go to a shitty movie that you paid $180 to
But
watch.
also, it sucked because at the end, it was like the last fight scene, and the movie cut out.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that. Yeah,
That was just.
that's
It was already a terrible movie.
And that happened back whenever I was in like high school and I was dating Jamie,
Yeah.
and we were watching Twilight, and it was like the
Oh,
funniest
yeah.
thing. Like I didn't give, like I wasn't there. Like oh my god, I can't wait to watch the fights.
He's here to get some
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
titties.
Yeah, in the theater that was packed. Yeah, now it's up the back.
Like that.
Yeah. I go in front. What are you doing down there, man? Hey, it's Styles. I'm like, yeah, I see you. I see what you're doing, man.
Front row.
But it cut out right during like the final fight scene, like the
Yeah.
big cult, like the big thing, and I laughed because it went pitch black dark, and like everyone was like kind of murmuring, you know, like
Right.
what do we do? And I was just gonna be like, I'm gonna be really stupid, and I screamed out, and I was like, somebody do something! I got yelled at, and like everyone died laughing, and then some guy up in front like darted. He was like, right on it, and he left.
Shit,
It was so funny.
that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I was like, hell yeah. I was like, it worked.
No, like I just, like I don't know, like
Niles, the pants around his ankles is like running down to the theater.
he just no, instead of going to the front, he goes to the back to see how far he can shoot his gun.
Christ.
No, like
I
I
didn't sign up for this shit.
that must be why the floors are always sticky. So, Nas, you knew what you were getting into from our last podcast.
God forbid I like going to the movies.
I got a question for you guys.
All right.
What podcast do you listen to?
What podcast?
Well,
How many? Okay, I got a couple. How many do you listen to? A week, weekly, and what? What one? What's your main ones?
Okay, well, I'll start out because, like,
I
I really don't listen to that many. Like, I started listening more here lately because my girlfriend Rebecca likes podcasts. So if we're in a car together or something, we'll be listening to a lot. We actually listened to one the other day, and it was pretty good. It was pretty funny. I wish I could remember his name. I literally stared at his name to remember it so I could, like, reference it in this
Little
podcast.
screen.
It was like Ronald or something. It was like
Mental
Ronald.
picture.
Ronald something, I think is what it was.
Ronald.
Ronell or something.
Ron McDonald.
Maybe that was it.
Let me do this.
Go ahead, buddy. Pour yourself some.
And here's some mixies if you'd like.
Well, actually, I got nothing for everybody. If anybody wants a Coke or Mountain Dew.
No, so I don't.
Save that one.
Pulls out another.
He puts it in his
Uh,
back pocket.
Yeah.
Coke
Save that for later.
now I was only likes Coke Zero. Okay, so.
I'll show you the horn there.
I'll partake in a moment.
Got the tiny
I'm
amount.
still
Yeah, pour yourself- hey, pour yourself more.
George
As much as you want me.
Killian.
He's like, oh, right there. Don't worry.
Just chugs the whole thing.
Throws it against the wall.
No,
It's like,
anyway,
thanks, I appreciate the hospitality.
shatters it on the wall, leaves.
Flips the table. Like, this is a good podcast. Too bad we didn't get the camera working.
Yeah.
Great footage.
No, like I don't really listen to all that many. Like, I want to start listening to more, but really, like, okay, so when you're doing something, you either have nothing on, maybe background noise from like a TV or music or something. You know, a lot of people I know are like podcasts now. I'm like, I like being here talking with everybody, recording podcasts and stuff. But I really just listen just music, pretty much like low volume and everything. Like, it's pretty much it. Or I just don't listen to anything at all, really.
I listen to podcasts every day.
Yeah.
Really?
I listen to them like when I wake up because it's just nice to like have that like sound in the background of like something funny or interesting. Like I listen to a couple. Like I like Dr. Drew's podcast. I don't know if you guys ever even know. Yeah, he's really
the
fun.
guy who's on Tom Segura's podcast.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and it's actually they do the Your Mom's House podcast
Yes.
and Two Bears One Cave podcast are all like kind of like connected.
Right.
And they're all kind of going through each other, and Tom Segura is kind of like the head of all of them. Like he's kind of like the boss, you know what I mean? Like he'll make all the big decisions and stuff. And but I listen to those three, so it's like Tom Segura's on Your Mom's House podcast and Two Bears, and Two Bears is with Tom and Bert Kreischer. Then Your Mom's House is him and his wife, actually, Tom and his wife Christina. Yeah. And that one's hilarious. Like, honestly, that one's like my favorite, I think. Just because it's just so fucking wild and outlandish. Like, they'll interview anybody. Like, they'll like, they had like ICP on there. They'll have like, they had Tommy Lee, great podcast if you want to get it that one.
They had Wheeler Walker on there.
Oh yeah. No, he was really funny. He was a really funny guy. Was he the one talking shit about
Garth?
Yeah. He was like that motherfucker can't carry a tune or something. Like, he was like this talking shit, and he was like I fucking can't stand him. And but they're hilarious. And then your Dr. Drew, he's actually like kind of like he'll answer like really interesting medical questions that like people are almost scared to ask. Like, you know, they'll be like, hey, I'm wondering like this sexual act type thing that's like outlandish, and Dr. Drew's like, good question, and like answers it like fully, and you're like, holy shit. Yeah. Like, I feel like you wouldn't think to like look at him that he'd be like down to answer these kind of questions, but I'm like, he's a doctor.
I like being like that. Like, I really am not afraid to like say anything, honestly. There are some things I will stop myself from saying. But like when you're
God, yeah, it's really good. It's good to have a filter.
No, I mean besides like the stuff you really should not say. You know what I mean? Like besides.
Do you want to say those things that choose not to?
I mean,
lay it all out.
I later.
He's at Speedway, like I really gotta fucking say something.
Well, look, what you were saying, like you wake up, you listen to this stuff. When I wake up, I gotta take a moment, just stare at the wall for a minute. I'm like, I gotta just process everything. Just that's my podcast.
You're just standing up like.
No, I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna sit down on the couch, just like this on the couch. You know,
I get that though.
Yeah.
Maybe not staring at a wall.
Yeah.
I'll stare at the floor and the wall and some other stuff. You know,
you gotta have your.
I gotta have my moment, you know, process my dreams I just had, you know what I mean? Like, that's it, because my dreams every night are just fucking crazy as shit.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I lucid dream every night.
What?
Every night.
You guys dream? You?
Every once in a while, yeah.
I have weird dreams, yeah.
I mean, dreams are just weird in general.
I don't.
I have dreams.
You don't dream?
No.
I have dreams about what I'm stressed about, really. Like, that's kind of like...
Well, yeah, I have, like,
work
pinpointed,
stuff,
like, especially here lately, I've definitely pinpointed a lot of my dreams that have happened from that day. If I mention something or I talk to somebody about something, I'll notice that in my dreams. But there are some times that, like, I just don't understand, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, so you don't dream, is that what you said?
I mean, if I do, I don't remember them.
That's actually a thing, though. Like, if you do remember them, it's something that I think it was, like, your brain's, like, trying to process something. But if you don't remember them, then it's just, you're just relaxed.
And
it's not something that your brain's trying to process to try to help solve problem solve.
See, I don't know about, like...
Jamie's pretty relaxed.
He seems like a chill guy. I mean,
See, I don't know
he's
about,
not holding back because he's on the set all the time.
Put me in a damn queue.
Like, fuck, like, what's wrong with me? I'm like, God. No, like, I wouldn't say, like, I know I said I lucid dream every night. Now, I know that I dream, like, every night, but I may not remember them. Okay, like,
he just doesn't know he's awake.
No, actually, I did have a dream last night where I thought I was awake.
I get this.
Okay, now I feel like maybe you more have seen this. It was a video I saw like on Instagram or something, and like I don't really use Facebook. I'll just scroll through it until I see like a video that I may want to watch. And it was a video of these two guys like MMA fighting or something. Okay. And it was like this little Asian dude, you know, he was like fighting, and the other dude was like this 600-pound black guy, just huge. Like, he wasn't even like muscle, I mean, he was like fat, like big motherfucker, okay? And all that like Asian dude did was just run around trying to tire that guy out.
I've seen that fight.
And then like he went, like he got like he was like stalling, so he got whatever. And then so he finally, like the Asian dude goes after his legs, and that big guy just drops down on top of him. And I had a fucking dream about that last night. That I was, like, I saw that video like 3 weeks ago.
It's like, which one were you in this scenario?
I was watching. I was just watching. I was just watching. And like, And like I was literally just watching, and then I saw the guy, like the big motherfucker, just picks this dude up and just starts slamming him just everywhere, just like slam, like. And then I was allowed to like up against the ring and everything, and then they finally ended it. And, like, you know, the big motherfucker won, obviously. And, like, the camera, like, goes over, which is basically my fucking mind. Walks over to, like, the little dude, and he's just, like, on the ground. He's like, just let me be. He's like, just leave me here for a minute. And then, like, we walk outside, and the big dude just, like, walks out with us. And he's like, we were all just standing there just like, yeah. Cody, I think you might have been in this thing.
You were there. You remember?
And, like, and we were just like, we were sitting outside, just like sitting there talking, and we were like, how much you get for this like fight? And the dude's like, oh, $16K, and we were sitting there like, oh, I feel like you should have got way more for that, you know? And then like everybody's like, all right, well, we're about to leave. And I'm like, shit, I should have got a fucking plane ticket. I'm like, okay, I gotta get one. I'm like, wait, I'm in a dream, and I just woke up, and I'm like, holy shit, like what the fuck just happened?
Wow, see,
like,
that's mesmerizing.
You know,
that
like
is amazing.
I mean, if you want to hear something mesmerizing, dude, like I can talk about
you memorized this whole fucking dream.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And like, no, I mean, listen to this, okay? Like
Let me tell you something else.
when I'm done with this, one of you guys can start talking, okay? They're like they're for a while.
Let's have our turn, John.
They're there for a while. Like there for a while. I would literally, like, I was, like, trying to actually lucid dream. Like, now I got to the point where I don't have scary dreams anymore because I taught myself how to wake up. And the reason I did that is because I was in this fucking dream, and I realized I was in a dream, so I, like, started to process it where I could keep myself in that dream and not wake up. I literally got stuck in, like, 2 or 3 dreams. Where, like, it was so realistic. I could fly. Like, I can fly in my fucking dreams. Yeah. And, like, I walked up to a little car, and I was like, you know what? I want a fucking Ferrari. And I just waved my hands over it and turned it into a fucking, like, 458 Italia. I don't know if you guys know what car that is. But, like, it's just a fucking red Ferrari sitting out in front of me now. And I'm like, I'm going to go somewhere else. I just started flying around. But then I could feel, like, the strain it was having on my brain. And I was like, how am I supposed to get out of this? Like, I literally was stuck. And I found out, if you guys want to know, even though you don't fucking dream at all, is like, if you're in a dream and you don't want to be there, just try to, like, fall asleep in your dream. Just lay down, like, your eyes closed, and you'll wake up.
Really?
That's how I did it. I literally lay down. I would lay down, and I would wake up in the same position I was laying down in that dream.
What do you mean strain in your brain?
It was, like, stressing me out. Like, I could feel it. Like, because when you're dreaming, you're, like...
Mind's working a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically, like, living a different life, and you're fucking...
Brain's creating a reality. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's more strained than if your eyes were just open.
We got Leonardo DiCaprio over here fucking playing Inception on her ass.
That's fucking right. That's fucking right.
I mean, that's pretty awesome.
It's cool, yeah. I'm just like, man, I don't know. I feel like
I have a book.
I feel like I'd be tired when I woke up.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I'd be tired when I woke up. I'd be like, damn, that was a. You don't even know it. I just seen a fucking giant fucking guy wrestle this little Asian man.
There are a bunch of dreams I still should have wrote down, but like I said, I have a book over there with a bunch of them that. Like, I feel like I could fucking turn into movies, dude. Like, crazy.
I feel like that's where, like, a lot of inspiration will come from, is, like,
probably.
It's like it's the core part of your imagination, pretty much. I mean,
you're literally inside of your brain.
Yeah,
like,
so it's got to be, like, something where you're going to be able to make some of the best, you know, it's probably where a lot of the best arts came from. I mean,
right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It's like,
actually, it's funny you say that. I actually had a dream the other night about Leonardo DiCaprio, but it was like a woman catfishing me. You ever watch Catfish?
Yeah, I don't feel like was he the one catfishing you, or were you catfishing him?
Well, it was like no, it was like
was
I was
he a catfish, like an actual fish.
No, it was like this. It was like you know how Leonardo DiCaprio was like all about like saving the earth and everything like that. As
I follow that on Instagram.
Yeah. Like Emma Watson is too. You know, like and it was like they started this like camp basically to like, you know, show people how to do everything or whatever. And then like it was basically just on this property that's really close to my parents' house, and So I went there. It was like Leonardo DiCaprio reached out to me because he started this like area out close to my parents' house. So I went there, drove up the road, and it was some woman catfishing me. And it was just, she was like, had like child labor, basically. And I'm like looking around this place. I'm looking around this place and I'm like, damn, this would make a good place for a festival. And like, so I turned it into a festival, but it didn't reach too far after that.
And there was nothing but kid security guards.
Oh yeah, it was all children. It was weird. Yeah.
That sounds like a moneymaker right there.
I feel like the reason for the children is because of an episode of The League that I had watched before that. Have you guys ever watched The League?
I watched some of it.
Well, like I mean,
couple episodes.
Yeah,
we
well,
talked about it.
yeah. Well, there was one of the guy in there named Taco who has like basically a brothel, and like he made a lot of kids do like yard work and stuff outside, yelling at him and everything. I feel like that's where that part came from. So I mean that's why, like I said, I started to realize that some of my dreams were coming from like the day before or that day.
Yeah.
Because, and I think that's where that came from.
So do you want to stop this process of your dreaming or what? Or no?
That's actually a really hard question to ask.
Have you scared yourself yet? Like I mean, like you said, you're stuck in 2 dreams.
That's been several
That's a pretty
years.
scary thing.
It's been several
Worried
years.
I fall asleep and be like, man, what if I just get stuck there?
No, because one, I learned how to wake myself up.
Yeah.
2, I learned, okay, so say you're in a dream and there's something chasing you. Like, just sit there, hold your ground, and it will disappear. Like, just know, like, tell yourself in your dream that, like, you're not afraid of it, and it will go away.
That's how I gotta stop. I just gotta stop running away from that fucking 600-pound black guy, man.
Dude, well, that was the thing. That's, like, literally what that guy was talking, like, the fucking guy talking, I don't know what you call him. Anyway, he's like that guy in the middle of the room. That's all he did was just making circles, because like he just watching that dude go around. And the guy was like, he knows that all he has to do is drop down on top of that fucker, and he's done. Like, and that's what he did. And that guy like got on his legs, and the small Asian dude was just punching him, trying to get him off. And he's like,
running, buddy.
Like, but you can
the corner
see,
guys, you got this. Just hit him.
yeah.
No shit, man.
And you could see his like the guy, like the big, I don't know their names or anything, but like he had like twisted his legs together, and he knew he wasn't getting out of that.
They're giving him the worst
Like-
advice. Get out from under him. Win the fight. What the fuck are you talking?
But like you could see that like that big dude just getting tired and like sweaty just from making rotations. Like, if you've seen it, Niles, you know what I'm talking about.
It's like
And
it almost reminds me. You guys
I've
seen?
seen it, but just one of those weird
UFC
YouTube
just-
rabbit holes.
right? Yeah, I didn't.
feel like
I
I
didn't
just
look
picture
into it.
It's
Watching like MMA compilations and
Oh,
shit
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
I love
Right, like I didn't
Yeah, I
look
love
into
that.
it or anything. Like, but that's
But it reminds me of Tenacious D. Whenever you guys seen that movie?
Yeah.
I imagine so. It's,
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's a great film.
mhm.
But it's like that one guy. Whenever they finally get the pick of destiny, that guy that they met at like the truck stop or whatever, the gas station. He's like, "Bring it to me, or I'll stab you." He's like,
He's like,
"What?"
no,
He's
I'll
like,
just run
Yeah,
away.
he's like, "Come over here so I can cut you." He's like, "I'm not going over there. I'm gonna go over there." He's like, "Let's just go."
Man, that actually reminds me of a guy that you two know.
Me?
Yeah, that you probably know too. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you know Sam. You know Mr. Sam.
Same man.
Yeah, I think you're saying his
you
last
know
name.
Sam?
He's gonna
Yeah,
listen
I
to
love
this.
Sam.
You know Sam?
No, I don't know Sam.
Okay.
If he's gonna listen to
What
this,
are
and
you
you're
talking
good.
about, John?
Well, what he was saying about that guy that was like, "Come over here, so I can stab you," is like Sam tried to do the same thing to me, basically in a different way.
Who the fuck
Like
is Sam?
Sam Manning, you know Sam.
Oh,
So-
that's Sam.
So
I'm
you're
sorry,
worried
I
about
didn't know.
you're worried about me saying his full name on this podcast because he tried to stab you?
No, it's because listen.
Why are we?
Listen,
Yes,
if you shut up, I'll tell you. Okay? He fucking no. He's like, okay. I was working at Little Caesars for a minute, okay, and his girlfriend got me fired there because she said I would walk up to her and like just touch her back. And you know, Little Caesars, you can't walk through that place without hitting somebody. Like that place is tiny as fuck, even tinier than Cody's dick. Okay, and he's like, he's like.
This ain't about me, man. I didn't do shit.
I'm sorry. No, like And he just started texting me after that. He's like, listen, motherfucker, you touched my girlfriend, all this. He's like, why don't you come to my house so I can beat you up? And I was like, first off, motherfucker, you're stupid. Why would I come to your house so you can fuck me up? Like, you know where I live. Like, come on over. I'm waiting. Like,
you definitely shouldn't have led with his first name at all. You should have just said person.
I mean, if he listens to this,
Bob.
like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, Bob Mannon. Okay, so
No, Bob Robert Monday.
no, look.
That guy.
Robert Maldonado.
Look, like I have no problem with him. Like it's his girlfriend that I have the problem with. But look, I don't fucking care. I hated working there anyway. I was only there for like a month.
Well, you didn't say her name. You want to say her name too?
Well, I don't know her name. I don't know her fucking name. Like no, like if I'm not gonna fucking I don't even know. But like we were at the Hog. It was like me, you, Naveen, Rebecca, like there was a whole bunch of us sitting at the table, and he came up to all of us and like dapped all of us up. But like the last time, I mean, he even dapped me up too. But even like the last time we were at Five Rivers and you guys were playing,
Dapping me.
it's like this. You want to dap me up? You want?
How do I start this process?
You know what I'm talking about, like that,
okay.
like, and but
Sorry, I got it.
What do I do with my hands?
it's fucking right. Niles, you want to go around?
I'll spit on it first. Come here.
Come on, Niles, come on.
Yeah. Give me some sugar.
But no, like, when I'm like, when we were at Five Rivers, when you guys were playing this last time,
Yes.
I would literally like look over at him, and he was looking at me every fucking time.
This podcast is gonna lose so many views just because of this beef that we have in the middle.
Like, no, I'm like, look, if you got a problem, then just come up and talk to me, dude. Like, come on.
This is quality content, but you're the one that's putting it out there.
I'm sorry. Like,
I know the man. We're cool.
I mean, look, he wanted to fire me, but I had no problem with him. She got me fired. I don't even fucking remember who she was.
I mean, it's only Little Caesars.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I
Like,
had Little Caesars tonight, and I'm bad off. Yeah.
Oh yeah, what'd you get? Hot and ratty?
There's a thin crust.
Those are good.
They're
I don't
good.
like-
They're fucking. That's why I'm bad off right now because I'm ate so much of it.
there's some
They're
Little
good.
Caesars down in the fridge there if you want some of that.
He's like, yeah, let me make this problem worse.
Yeah.
No, actually, it's like from Tuesday. I need to get rid of it.
What's today? Friday?
Yeah.
So I'll just wait and
It's
see
like
if
a month old now.
Yeah, when it comes to fast food pizza, it was probably already a month old when they made it. It's like
the thing that was actually they stay better longer because they just are only in the freezer.
freezer pizza.
Well,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
because it doesn't.
Sure.
You don't need to set it out or nothing. I mean, it's just like it's literally comes like that. That's the only dough that Little Caesars doesn't make fresh every morning. Little
Oh.
Caesars is like one of the only franchises to make their dough fresh every morning. It sucked doing it. Fuck that. Send
Yeah.
that shit frozen. I'll do it that way easier.
Like I said, I only worked there for like a month. I was there with Hunter, and wait, were you there?
Buddy, I worked there before and after you.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. But
I was a manager there. Like
everybody's a fucking
I
manager there.
I was third in charge at one point, man.
Oh well.
Yeah, I was the Dwight. I was the
Dwight.
Dwight. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I went on vacation with him. It was insane. I know.
But no, like the shitty thing that sucked was
I'm the
like
godfather to his children.
Getting stabbed.
Yeah.
no, like that building is literally like the size of this fucking room, and I fucking it just like it pissed me off at the time. It's like,
No wonder you're rushing into people.
I mean, you couldn't not do it. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's fucking.
I do remember
stupid.
you whispering sweet nothings in my ears as you passed by.
Yeah.
Oh, I do
"That's
that.
weird, but we were
Anytime
really
I
close."
see you, I do that,
I'm
Cody.
like, these are close corners. He's got to do that.
No, like I seriously, I have no problem with him. But if he's got problems with me, just come and fucking tell me, dude. Like, don't text me. Like, come to my house. Like, okay, first off, I don't know where you live, and third or second, fifth maybe, come over here, bro. You know where I live. Like, come on, dude. Like,
Glad we've
Jesus.
settled the
I
deal.
feel like you're. I feel like this is like you're opening up, a terrible thing that happened like a long time ago.
I don't even remember when that was. Shit.
Just on a rant.
Yeah, John's like, let me fucking tell you something.
Talking about dreams, beef with people, and not even about music anymore. So,
Dreams are way cooler than music.
Oh man.
Music is just entertainment. We don't need entertainment.
this is entertainment. What are you talking about?
Way to sell our product.
Now it's over there like, what
Oh, wait, this happened when Niles was on our last one. I remember we had Niles on our Shoney's podcast. We talked about Shoney's.
Oh my god, dude, we were wrong. It wasn't even Shoney's, it was a Ponderosa.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
So we
Yeah.
ran Shoney's through the fucking, muck and then
Shoney's does suck, though. I fucking hate
Oh,
Shoney's.
yeah, well, that don't change the fact.
Still never been there.
Yeah, they weren't there. They weren't at a location that we were purposely shitting on, and Ponderosa pretty much got off scot-free.
They committed plenty of war crimes.
Yeah. They ain't facing no charges. What the hell, I mean, you're telling me that the Tiger King's in jail, but that motherfucker ain't?
Oh, that actually reminds me. Niles.
John.
Niles.
Yeah. Somebody else tried to stab me.
Throw it out under the bus.
No, listen. I'm going to say just a couple words. You're going to know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I saw your comment on Tara's post about that motherfucker who killed those people.
Yeah.
What even happened? You said he's a pussy-ass bitch.
No, I didn't say that.
I know, I
You
can't
put
remember.
words in my mouth.
No, you said he's
I
a
call him
coward.
a
A coward.
coward.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Way different than what John said.
Basically the same
And
thing.
didn't you say you're not going to say names or something? You were like, I'm not going to get into details.
Oh, Tara won't give a fuck. Okay,
Well, you said
like,
you weren't getting into details and then instantly listed
yeah,
details.
but I didn't say the dude's name.
Yeah.
We know what
It's okay.
post and his comment, and now we know what it says. We
Yeah.
could probably locate him pretty quickly.
Yeah, well,
Look,
I didn't.
I said what I said. That was my opinion. I don't know if we should really get into that.
Yeah, okay,
It's
all right,
kind
we
of off
won't.
topic. Yeah, let's talk about the Travis Scott concert.
Astro World.
Yeah.
Did you take a smoke break or a pee break?
A pee break, but I'm about due for a smoke.
Well,
Well,
oh heavens.
well, here I'll tell you what.
Oh,
We'll
heavens.
look. We'll
I
do
don't
this.
have to.
Well,
We're good.
I was gonna say just fucking open that window right there, bro. It's all right.
Wow.
There's really not
Well,
that.
here's the thing, John. I don't even have them on me.
Oh well,
I have to run all the way downstairs, out the door, into my car.
to the better
He's-
place
and
to
he-
smoke.
And he smokes a cigarette one puff. Like, he does, like, that Bernie Mac shit.
Just okay, all right, I'm good.
He's pretty good at
Have you
it.
seen
Yeah,
that? Have you seen someone do that before?
Yeah,
They
from
go-
what's the mouse and Jerry and
Tom and Jerry?
Tom and Jerry. I couldn't think of
The
Tom.
cartoon?
Yeah, that's what I'm fucking talking about.
I meant in real life. Like, I've seen a lot of things happen on some cartoons, I can tell you.
Jerry.
Yeah, so Tom, when he like rolls that cigarette with one hand
And
in
then he,
front of
like,
that guy,
but he
it's
also
just-
made letters with
He's
his
got some
smoke.
big
So.
iron on his hip.
Yeah.
yeah.
He did. He walked up, tipped his hat over and shit. He said, "Let me show you something."
That's what Niles did.
He just
Hold that
held,
thing
he
with
held it
one
out.
hand.
He held it out and sprinkled that shit out of the air, rolled it up perfect. I mean,
Yeah.
that's some swagger, dude. You do
That
that.
is-
You do that in front of my girlfriend.
Yeah.
You can have her. Like, I haven't got a chance. She's gonna go home thinking about that shit.
No, we got
She's gonna be calling her girlfriends like,
I haven't
"I
gone
believe
down
what the fuck
the-
happened tonight."
the tobacco rabbit hole rolling my own yet.
Really, really?
No, I've never rolled my own.
It's kind of surprising.
I used to,
like it.
I used to have to roll.
I like smoking pipe and spirits. That's pretty much it.
Did you ever hear how I heard this on Joe Rogan's podcast? By the way, that's another one I like to listen to.
Yeah.
If you like that one,
Yeah.
it's like the biggest one in the world.
Yeah.
I think so. It's like if you don't listen to that one, it's like
I mean, when you have Elon Musk on, you know, you're pretty.
which
You're,
was great.
you're pretty
It was a
good.
great. His stock went down from being on there. You know what I mean? Or like the Tesla. When he smoked weed on that podcast.
Yeah.
His Tesla stock like people.
'Cause
Steve smoking. Yeah, it was stupid. It was just like they were just like people that.
You
were
don't see that meme where you just
Yeah, exactly. Pretty good.
like
It's
look,
it's Italian. What shit?
look if I got to smoke weed with Elon Musk, I mean I'm complete at that point.
I'm complete.
Like
Never eat
fuck.
food again. I don't need nothing else.
Like Like, go ahead and send me to space. I don't need to be here anymore. I'm good to go.
He walks out there levitating. He's transcended.
He would have flipped out. If he smoked weed on that night, he would have flipped out. For sure.
Yeah, okay. All right, look, we'll take a little break. All right.
All right.
No, we don't have to.
No, we'll do it for the
I'm
meals.
enjoying my life right now.
All right.
Yeah, I think we're in a good flow. We're in a good rhythm. We're doing a lot of stuff.
All right.
I was gonna say something though.
Oh, were
it was
you?
about Joe Rogan's podcast. What was it about? I was gonna say something.
I don't think you were.
Come on, ADD.
No, man.
Show me the words.
yeah. I gotta dream this shit later. But
You will.
no, shoot, I can't remember.
I'll have a dream of this later, but Elon Musk will be sitting right there. Okay. That'll be the
Smoking
only.
like he was.
Yeah, that'll be the only difference. No, seriously, Elon Musk has been mentioned on every single one of our
If not,
podcasts.
I feel like I feel like there's maybe one that we might have not, but I feel like it's still possible.
Yeah, he's a big human right now.
I mean, yeah, I'd fucking love to shake his hand. Like, that's it. I don't care if he says a word. Just shake my
What if
fucking
it's
hand.
disappointing? What if it's like limp? Like what if he has like a limp? Like what if it's like what if it's just like a wet fish like this dangling there?
No, it's like
It's just like what
it's
the?
like that hand on that guy's Scary Movie 2. You know what I'm talking about? He's like, that's my good hand, you know, and it's like, I don't care, I'll shake that shit, dude.
As he's
What's that? The G with the symbol.
oh the Mason.
Yeah, that's the Masons, right?
Yeah, that's Mason's. Yeah,
You ever shook old dude hand that has that handshake?
it's because they have a specific handshake.
That's weird.
What is it?
Yeah, I learned it.
Slim,
I was
like you
becoming a
said.
Mason. I learned it, but I quit like
Yeah.
super
especially-
early.
Is that what?
Like,
No.
It's just a fat hand you're shaking.
Yeah.
If you're
Well,
shaking
it's because
it's
like
a loose shape.
it depends on like what rank they are, and like, but there is a certain way that there's a certain way.
My pawpaw was in
Certain
there,
amount
like in the
of
Masons.
grit.
Really?
Yeah.
I went
And
to
there's-
some meetings and it's pretty crazy.
And there's a certain way that you actually
Not me,
hold,
please, God.
like, like,
Shut the fuck up, John.
nah, fuck it. There's a certain way that each of you is supposed to hold your hand and place your thumb.
Wow.
I don't remember it, so I can't, say that information.
It's
But
an
there,
excuse for men to touch each other.
it is, yes, which is
So
what
that
we
was-
all enjoy. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there really is. There's a certain way that you hold your hand and place your thumb, and that's how you know that you're that
Show
person.
me. I want to give it to him.
I don't remember. No, like I was literally in my Enter the Apprentice. I was in my Enter the Apprentice account. Like I went through like the first process of becoming a Mason in Patriot, and like they do all this shit and everything, and then I got promoted and moved to Akron, so I
He was
stopped.
like, he's like, I just really couldn't drink the goat's blood anymore. Wash my hands.
No, yeah, I never learned anything after that. But here's a funny thing that probably nobody gives a fuck about is like I was helping them do like when they build their new building in Patriot, like I was putting the insulation in and everything, and I got stabbed by a staple, and I wiped my hand on some insulation, so now my blood is in that building, man. Yeah.
What are they gonna walk into?
No, like what I was saying is like, no, they.
Cool. Is that how you start interviews for jobs?
Yes, it is. No, Cody, what I was telling them, like, what I was fucking telling them is like when they were building the new building, the Mason building in Patriot, like I was helping them do all the insulation in it, and I got stabbed by a staple, and I was bleeding pretty good, and I just wiped my thumb on some insulation. So now if you take down that
On purpose?
drywall,
Did you do that on purpose?
I mean, yes and no. One time I did do it on purpose, but the other times it was just still bleeding while I was
Insulation,
working.
like,
So you still got fiberglass?
yeah, I was like, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, buddy, you got
No.
fiberglass in there now?
I
You're
mean,
like, it really hurts when I do this.
have you guys never done insulation? Probably.
The stuff,
No.
the pink stuff, that stuff's not that stinky.
But there's like the yellow. There's like the
The yellow
R.
one's really bad.
There's like the R19, and then there's
the
the.
R19's not bad.
The I-95.
No, I think it was. I think it was the
I've handled
R19.
so much R19, I don't even want to talk about.
Yeah, I
Did you
dude.
like float?
Yeah.
Everything, Jamie,
I
everything
breathed it
floats. Everything floats.
I used to install it underneath houses.
Yeah, that's where it sucks, dude. I did it underneath my parents' house, and you got like this much to work with, and then you're putting insulation up. It's a crawl space, not a basement. That shit fucking blows, dude. Yeah, I've done actually quite a bit of insulation, and it fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah. Sucks.
It's all in the lungs, dude. I don't like it. You know.
It siphons out. That's what it's for. That's what lungs are for. And it's done.
No, I literally.
Taking the good insulation, bring out the bad.
That's right. Yeah.
You bring in the pink, you bring out the yellow.
That's fucking right.
That's what we're doing.
I breathe in so much, I shit out insulation rolls. You know, R19 rolls insulation out my ass.
You ain't been there. I'll tell you. Good times.
Jesus
We went
Christ.
south.
Good.
Yeah, we always go south in these podcasts. Glad,
It seems
glad
like
to have you
longer-
guys
it
aboard.
Seems like the longer they go, the more we just start like going like we're like, well, we lost the wheel, we broke a window, like, got 2 flat tires,
Let's-
we're rolling off one good one.
Yeah, we'll just talk about insulation, okay?
But we still have a good time.
Shouldn't talk about masons too much. You might not wake up tomorrow, you know.
I'm more worried about getting stabbed.
But they're not gonna walk too far. Like, hey, come over here so I can stab you. Jesus Christ, no, that's so fucking stupid.
I was thinking about being like getting into the Masons and stuff like that, but I don't know. It just didn't seem like for me. I was like, I'm working at Little Caesars. What's the fucking point? You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, like what's the point?
Yeah.
Well-
I didn't know. I didn't see like that. It was like, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to attend the meetings and stuff.
I mean, like, there's this whole thing where it's like, oh, protect your brothers, help your brothers, and all this shit. Like, just be a nice fucking person. Like, why
Yeah,
can't you
dude.
just, like,
it's a
help
polite,
people.
It's a polite gang.
It's
It's a
like-
polite gang. Like,
Yeah,
it
it's for real.
is. It is. Like, you pay them your due, you know?
That's a cool way to say
Yeah,
it.
It's
like-
kind of a bunch of fragile men who want to touch each other.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Do soft handshakes.
I mean, like, they say that you know, like, secrets of the world and everything. I've literally been at the Mason Lodge and Patriot so many times, and they're just dudes drinking, eating food, getting more fat than they already are, and it's like,
They can't trust you.
like if you're not working for the government, you know nothing about what Masons actually were in history. Like, and but I literally still can like. I can kind of point Masons out of a crowd and sometimes. Like,
What do they support?
Government.
it's Christianity. It's literally just another church, basically.
It's like they're it's a government like it's they're
Templars, the secret order.
it's
Look, I mean-
what's the exact definition of a Mason? Like
it was supposed to. It's supposed to like keep going on like the flow of what Masonry really was stonework.
Yeah.
But now they say it was like this whole hidden thing throughout the government. Like they own a lot of secrets. Like no, if the American government has all those secrets, it doesn't matter if you're a fucking Mason or whatever. They have the secrets. They're there, you know. And like we talked about this last time about how like,
Masons?
no, it was about how
sorry.
the government like. You said it was like the 60-year thing, where like after 60 years, like the secrets of whatever is supposed to be revealed.
wow, this is kind of cool.
Really?
This is like what pops up on Google if you would like just search like what is a Freemason.
Well, we'll read it.
It's a Freemason, the teachings and practices of the fraternal men only in quotations order of free and accepted Masons, the largest worldwide secret society. An oath-bound society often devoted to fellowship, moral discipline, and mutual assistance. That conceals at least some of its rituals, costumes, or activities from the public.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kinda,
Even though they let me in there several
so,
times.
Very, it told you what you needed to know, kind of, but kept it from you at the same time. And that's a very vague explanation. You know,
But I can't.
we're here, but we're doing stuff, and we're active in the community.
Basically, like
Doing
another thing.
Have a good day.
We're just here.
It's kind of just like a fraternity.
You
For
got
old,
salt on your table. Are you using it? It's there though.
they don't do any stonework. What you talking about?
So like
Yeah, it was literally started out as stonemasons. They did stone work, but it's a fraternity for dudes. It
Yeah, but they say men only in quotations.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
That's men only.
That's what you just said. Yeah.
It says it right in quotations, men only.
But like at the same time, it's like now, like I can't imagine that like Patriot Masons going there every Tuesday or fucking what day it is, talking about secrets of the government and the world. I can't imagine that. They're just sitting there. They pay their dues to provide for the building.
Someone's there sweating constantly with an unbuttoned t-shirt with a tank top underneath it, smoking cigarettes constantly. Like, you won't fucking believe what George W. Bush did today. Christ, this motherfucker don't stop.
No, it's honestly like. Now I wouldn't mind to be like a Mason, you know, like being a part of something, you know.
Where did it start?
Where?
I'll look that up.
Sorry.
No,
I was
it's good
gonna say
questions.
like, I don't know if it started in America or it was like a European, like a
I feel like
British
it started-
thing,
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely. I don't know though.
a Great Britain kind of thing. I feel like
Are they connected with the Hellfire Club?
I don't even know what that is.
Well, they're below the Illuminati.
Mm-hmm. Have you heard of the Hellfire?
No, I've never heard of them.
Yeah.
Ben Franklin was.
Oh, I know what you're
It was
talking.
like a secret society thing, but it was like a sex cult type thing.
Yeah, Ben Franklin was a Mason. Pretty much every like president is a Mason. Yeah, you had pretty much
Dressed
have
up
to
as,
be a
like,
president to be a
Dressed
Mason.
up as like goblins and demons. And,
Yeah. Or I said that wrong. You pretty much
Big
have to
orgies.
be. You pretty much have to be a Mason to be a
Wear a
president.
freaky mask.
yeah.
I like
I
wearing
think it
freaky
still
masks.
exists.
What?
The Hellfire Club.
Oh, well, have you seen like there's like that place? I don't know where exactly. If it's in like
I think it's club. I can't remember.
well,
It's club.
it's like
It's like Boy Scouts.
where if it's not the Illuminati, but it's
I'm
like
an Eagle
Illuminati
Scout.
and like some Freemasons that are like up there, like presidents and stuff have been documented going out to this like this lake and like this forest out. Like it's over like you know what I'm talking about. I can't remember.
I don't
There
know.
are
I know.
there are many places.
No,
that
but there's
like
this
that.
one big one there where there's a giant owl statue.
Yeah,
and then
I know what
people
you're talking
got
about.
pictures of like Nixon being there and like a whole bunch of like big presidents and
There's,
stuff.
I think there's a video, some
Yeah.
recording. I don't know.
There's some recordings of it where they're doing rituals in front of like, and they say that they do like human sacrifices and stuff there. Like it's in like a forest over like toward like the west coast. I'm pretty sure. Like it's in like.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the name of it.
I know.
Show a tree.
Well, here's
McIntyre. I think.
no. Here's the thing about that. Like you were talking about.
We're
There's,
knock on the door. We're all freak out.
well, you're talking like you're saying there's like some recording or pictures, but like here's the thing. You think about it. There is a camera fucking everywhere now. Like everybody everything right now. There's like, oh, why don't you release UFO documents? And like there are all kinds of stuff on social media and stuff about these UFOs people have seen. It's like there literally is a camera everywhere. Like people are gonna fucking see it, but like everything is owned by basically the government. So it's like as soon as something like that is released, they're gonna take it down instantly and delete it. And
but they can't because then it would be too obvious. This person could sit there that has the footage or does that. It's probably like you're not going to publish it or put it out there unless you have backup after backup and like you're already securing your own name. You're probably like terrified as fuck to even be there, let alone publish it. So if he's going to put it out there, he's going to know how to do it. And I mean, they can take it down, but taking it down is almost going to be worse than just leaving it up and ignoring it.
Right.
Because then you're like, I mean,
Well, they'll
people
say
are going to
it's-
sit there and say like, the
Oh,
government
it's
took it down. It's
fake,
obvious.
yeah.
Like,
Right.
They
Well,
don't like
and another thing I was mentioning earlier, like that we talked about on our last podcast, was about like the whole, like you said, you mentioned it too. It was like the 60-year thing.
Oh, I got another thing to talk about that. Sorry.
Well, it was like how it was like World War II happened or something.
Okay,
And
after
then-
60 years of documentation or classified documents that the government withheld, they have to release them after 60 years. Well, guess what? Whenever the planes hit 9/11, on 9/11 they hit the Pentagon and it hit exactly where the documents for World War II hit. and that would have been pretty much 60 years after World War I or World War II, whenever that happened. So they were like, holy shit, kind of a coincidence that, like, I mean, even if it was a terrorist attack, even if it was something of the such that it wasn't the government's fault with that,
It's like
don't you think that there was somebody,
they knew where to hit.
don't you think that there was someone either in there that could have been like, well, let's say
backups of that shit.
Probably somewhere.
Did you not know that they took the old VHS tapes or videotapes of the moon landing, the original moon landing tapes, and they copied over them? Like NASA did that. Like, you're telling me that you ain't got no other VHS tapes? You ain't got that labeled like the greatest thing fucking we ever did? You know what I mean? Like,
well,
that should
and,
be in an archive somewhere. Like, don't fucking touch. You know what I mean? Like,
well, and here's the thing about like
Yeah.
the whole.
yeah, you imagine some guy's got tape, some guy's got tape around his glasses. Like, oh, let's see. Like, and he puts it in. Like, you know, he's like, that's nothing.
Well, like,
Where's
and,
he at today? I didn't hear about his execution.
But to go back to like the whole 9/11 thing is like, do you know what Building 7 is?
Yes.
Building 7 is a building that was like a block or two away from the Twin Towers, and like what they know was a controlled demolition. They literally set fires like 1 or 2 floors, and if you watch the video, the building, okay, here's the top of it, it literally crimps and then falls down on itself, and like it's like what they know was a controlled demolition, and it crimps so it doesn't damage the buildings next to it.
It implodes on itself.
And then the Twin Towers, like the architect of the towers came out and said, he's like, we designed and built those towers to take multiple plane impacts. He's like, there's no way that one plane took those down, and the steel built, like the steel frames were strong enough.
Here, so it was across the street. It wasn't even like the molten,
Yeah.
metal could have hit across
And,
the
like,
street if it was
all-
people there. You know what I mean? There's people that walk and there's paper flying around.
Like all the firefighters and everything
The chief,
came out.
The firefighter chief or whatever.
Yeah,
He was like,
all
he's
the
like,
firefighters.
he said it looked like a controlled demolition.
Yeah, because
demolition.
and like even if you go to like my dad and stuff, he's like, oh yeah, those planes brought down. He's like, no, it fucking didn't. He's like, if you look at the bottom and like all the steel beams, they're cut at an angle, and that basically makes the steel beams like it slips and it slips in on itself, so it doesn't, because like it wouldn't. What other way? You can't just cut it flat; it's not going to move. So it's cut at an angle.
Straight down.
So basically, the building, if you watch it,
Yeah.
if you watch the building, it like floor by floor, it comes down, and like all the firefighters and everything, they were like, for weeks, it looked like there was just molten lava going through there, and all the dust, it's from thermite. I mean, it literally is.
Crazy sauce.
Our fucking government is terrible too.
I'll tell you something right here. I was gonna say, is that 60-year cap thing? It's coming up, and guess what? What? It's coming up for JFK.
Oh,
And the Biden administration is keeping that from us.
dude.
Like, and it, I mean, it's literally. I'm quoting like the actual like article. You know what I mean? Like the thing that says the Biden administration. I'm not like trying to be like Biden fucking. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that that's literally what the government's doing right now. Is they're actually keeping the unreleased documents from the JFK assassination from us. And Joe Rogan commented about it. He's like, I'm more concerned with this than fucking aliens. And that's crazy here from Joe Rogan.
Like,
And Joe's like, he said, because if the government's going to keep that information from us,
what's about to happen?
He said they did it. He said no. He's like, Joe Rogan was like, the government killed JFK then.
Yeah.
He said, I don't care about it, because he's like, if you have nothing to hide, why hide it?
Like,
If
that's
you didn't do
the
it,
thing about JFK
you know,
is he was about to release information,
Yeah.
and then bam, he's dead.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
He was the most American driven president
Right.
of that time period. I mean, I don't want to debate like of all time, but I mean, he was one of the most American citizen driven presidents where he was for the people, and that was it.
You know, like, I'm not saying like I was for Trump and everything, but Biden is fucking insane. Like, I mean, he can't fucking speak very well. He can't walk upstairs.
I do just
apparently.
hate that. I just hate that. Like,
He's a placeholder.
He literally is there for people to talk about while the government does something different.
He's a name
like,
and a face, really, because I mean, he's not even a voice for the people, because his voice don't fucking like make sense when he's talking. Like, I hate whenever I find just audio clips of him saying nonsense. Like, and it's more than just one. It's not like it's like, oh, you had a bad day.
There you go, Jamie. Look at that building. Look at that building. Floor by floor, it just comes down. And,
It's a great recording.
yeah.
Really close.
What was this? Like,
Is this Steven Spielberg?
Yeah.
Look at this.
But yeah, like that was another thing about those buildings is because like there was information in there that they did not want to be released.
And then they also didn't want. I think there was like a thing that they were gonna have like a whole bunch of people be off for that day, but they didn't want it to seem like suspicious. They probably already evacuated it because the plane's already hit the building.
Yeah.
Well, there was
These
another
are first
thing.
responders. And these are cars that were abandoned.
Yeah.
Well, there was.
This happened when I was in kindergarten.
Yeah.
So I think it was like
Yeah.
first. I was like first
kindergarten.
It was like first or second grade.
Well, another thing about this is like there were a lot of people that came out and said he's like people for weeks were coming in there with like loads of shit, would take it in there and then just leave. They wouldn't speak to anybody. They wouldn't do anything. They'd go in with this stuff, and it was because they were wanting to place the thermite. Is what they were saying, because you light thermite and it goes real fast and it will cut through steel.
It's like, have you seen a bridge demolition?
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
the same. Like if you see, you'll see like as quick as you said it. Pretty sure it's like if not the same type of like explosive, but it'll fucking happen like instantaneously.
Yeah, and it releases a lot of dust, and that's what they said
it's all
about the
it's
Twin
all-
Towers. Because like if you watch the videos from like space and stuff, it's nothing but dust. And like,
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Like there was like the person that was
why are we
like,
talking about the government?
but we were but it was like the first it was the first time that like the International Space Station like seen something like kind of like that, where they seen like a tragedy happen for America like that. And
It
they
was,
said
from space,
and they were
yeah.
like, and there was like only like a couple people that were up there and like at the space station. And the craziest thing, like how calm they sounded, they said it was like, yeah, we're not having a real good day down here on Earth.
Right,
Like,
right. I heard that.
It's
Yeah.
kinda like they were like, we don't really know what to say, but we're really not having that good of a day down here on Earth.
You see all this
Like,
dust.
and he could see it, like he could see the dust, like the smoke from New York
See this?
City.
Like that isn't smoke. That's the dust from the thermite.
Well, not just that.
Well, I
And
mean,
that
yeah.
concrete
Okay.
and everything else. Like,
Well, there is a documentary that's been released a long time ago that I've watched probably 20 times.
your more videos look spanned out like, of the craziest shit I've ever seen. There's a person eating chicken next to a video game, and then more 9/11 clips. Like, what are you watching, bro?
Why is Grand Theft Auto
Yeah.
so popular?
I
It's
don't
not
know.
even
I
the
don't.
newest one.
I've never watched a video of Grand Theft Auto on here
That was-
either.
I do,
Like,
That was like Grand Theft Auto 4 or 3 or something. I don't even know. Like that wasn't even decent. Maybe
Well,
2. That was like the second one, I think.
here's another thing about or what I was gonna say is like there was a documentary released. It's called. I was about to say The Prestige of that movie, but
We should talk about that here in a minute.
it's not that. It's Rheingeist, something like that. Zeitgeist.
Sounds German.
Well, it's not, but it's
Stop.
it's like the first quarter of that's the first quarter.
Yes.
I could probably look that shit up.
It's Jewish.
But no, like the first or Zeitgeist. That's what it is.
I got the
You're
piece.
good. You're good.
Continue.
Yeah.
Well, I'll continue when you get back.
We'll talk about something. We
I
don't
don't know
need.
where it is.
It's
so.
literally the next
So
one.
it's the documentary is about like the first quarter half of it is about Christianity, and then the other part of it is about 9/11. And I heard the Christ like I looked it up and they said the Christianity part of it is actually false, but I believe the 9/11 part. Man, how many? That probably takes like 10 D batteries.
It takes DC 12 volt.
It's but you know what's crazy is my aunt and I'm pretty sure my aunt and my uncle, and they're my step and aunt uncle. It's on on Jason's side, like my stepdad,
Yeah.
it's his sister and her husband. But they were actually at the Pentagon during 9/11. They said they could feel the building shake from it getting hit.
Well, you know,
What are they doing there?
They worked there.
They were there?
They worked there.
Oh, they weren't there.
They worked.
Worked.
Yeah, they worked. Yeah, you're good. I was like, No, they were at home and felt the shake.
Worked or they worked?
They were at home.
I'm not sure I follow.
They were like, man,
They worked there?
this not
Well, my cousin was there during when the fucking Capitol building got overran. He was there.
My cousin went there.
Yeah.
He actually just drove down by himself, which was really dangerous now that I think about it. Like after what happened, he went down by himself.
You know, they're
Dude,
still like they're still doing all like.
Just one of the
I
guys.
talked to a woman yesterday.
He's like, you know what I'm gonna do today?
Or I talked to a woman the other day at the mall, and she was talking about New York, and she's like, oh, I love all the museums. I was like, well, you know, I like D.C. because all the museums. She's like, don't go there now. She's like, that place is fucking, like, locked down still.
Really?
Like, they're fucking still talking about that overrun shit. Like, they're literally... They're just trying to, like, keep the public away from what's about to happen.
The fact is, did you see, like, the older, elderly ladies that were walking through the Capitol building, like, whenever, like, they was getting overrun? That was like, this bitch made it in? Like, this lady?
They're literally just walking around.
Yeah, this lady
like,
looks like she should have a handler with her. Like, where's her wheelchair? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right,
like, no offense, but this lady does not seem stable, and, like, it seems like she just was like, hey, I'm just happy to be here.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's not like people are going through there destroying shit. They're kind of just like...
It was one guy sitting down in, like, the main hall of it. Like,
They're just walking
they'd
around
hold
looking
meetings.
at the place.
Yes,
like,
there was, like, one guy sitting down in the front of it, like, on a cell phone. Like, he was just sitting there. He was like, yeah, I'm just hanging out.
hey, guess where I am right now? You know,
You
like,
shit, check my Snap story. Like...
And that's it. Like they were literally not even doing anything. They had flags and shit like that, but they were
There
just.
were also threats of killing Pelosi.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Well, I feel
Oh,
like
that might have been the main part.
I feel like that could...
That was the main part about that. Okay,
You know, it was probably just some guy in the back like, hey, let's say this. Like, didn't probably mean anything with it.
It wasn't just like fucking, oh, let's just go to the Capitol building. No.
I feel like a lot of people
Fucking
were there for
insurrection.
that.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I didn't know. It just looked
Okay.
wild. Me and John are on the same page. We like... We're over here like, fucking...
And that's why we're here, buddy.
Yeah.
No, like
It sounds good, homie, alright?
I don't know. It just seems like they're, and I don't know. It's just ridiculous. We literally pretty sure we talked about 9/11. I think it was when we had Dustin on. We talked about it.
Yeah, he was a big conspiracy with it. Like, I mean, me and him really like talking about that stuff. So, but to get off the topic of like 9/11?
Oh, hey,
If
Jamie.
you wanted to continue, like, what do you think about the whole thing with like the JFK files?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, isn't that wild though?
Oh, hey, wait, look who it is.
Oh, shit,
right
Shannon.
there. No, this is the documentary I was talking about, Zeitgeist. Like I said earlier, the first half of it is like about Christianity. And like I said, I looked it up and it said like some of the Christianity part was actually false. But if you think about it, Christianity is like one of the last religion to take place or whatever. And there are many religions like before that, but it seems like they're all kind of based around like the same thing, like the sun god and like the whatever.
Well, there's been like talking in like other older ancient like religions that like talk about like a burning bush or like the son of the lamb, like things like that. Like there are reoccurring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Things. What?
No.
Oh.
Nothing. I don't know.
Oh, I was like, you did something that, or I said that's
Yeah,
wrong?
No, you didn't say
If
anything
you
wrong.
expect us to chime in on this,
I don't know, brother.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we're here for our bands, not for 9/11.
Not just that. No.
I love it.
Jesus.
Oh wait, here we go. Hold on.
I never heard of
Bam, there it is. Like, fuck, dude. Look at it, like Zeitgeist. It's actually a pretty good like documentary,
Yeah.
and this is actually just on fucking YouTube.
Oh, okay.
It was actually I don't remember. It's been a while since I've watched it, but it was actually pretty good. I mean, if you guys want to know about 9/11, then not saying that all that stuff that this guy says is true. I'm just
I
saying.
think I was in 7th grade, social studies.
7th grade.
Mr.
It
Harvey.
hit you like it was like really crazy for you because you kind of like knew what was going on.
I didn't care.
I was getting out.
Wow.
I got out of school. And I was happy about it. I was like, cool.
I didn't know.
So I get to go home. All right.
Yeah, I don't remember any of it. I
Rode
don't
my dirt
fucking-
bike. Fuck yeah,
Oh,
dude.
man. Damn, I miss riding dirt bikes.
Made videos of me riding my dirt bike on 9/11.
He's like,
Like, hey guys, I'm having a
He's
good
like-
time.
he's
How about
like-
you?
he's like, never got a lot of likes, but
I just did it for me. I just rewatched them.
yeah.
That looks cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Well, you know what? Let's take a little happier turn. Jamie, what year did you graduate high school?
04.
04?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, we young as shit.
No.
We graduated in 13. All of us, all three of us.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Niles is younger than me. By a month. By a month.
Gee
Wait, what?
whiz.
Wait, what about you? You're older than me, I think.
Like barely. Like it's not like
3 minutes.
yeah. Like John's over counts months. John's over like, but he's like, I'm 26 and a half.
Wait, what year? What year?
1995,
What month?
January.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He's just trying. He's just wanting to be a little bit young, and he's like,
You're older than us, too.
yeah, I know.
Do
You
guys
fucking
know
old
about your
bastard.
Signs? Do you know about that shit?
A Taurus. I'm a Taurus.
Do you believe in that stuff? Or?
I don't know. No.
I
I don't really,
mean,
because I don't like thinking that like it has to deal with my personality just to the day that I was born.
or the month.
I don't like thinking that.
I mean, there are sometimes when people will post like, "Oh, I'm a Taurus and this is what happens." I'll be like, "Yeah, I can agree with that." But this bitch is a fucking Virgo, and I can fucking agree with that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
I don't know about that. I don't. That's kind of far fetched.
I think I'm
Very far.
I identify as
it's
a Virgo.
it
It's
is.
fun. I mean, it's kind of fun, but
Yeah.
I think
it's neat when it really does hit hard. Like you're like, holy shit, like that's me. I am that.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was. I think it was your girlfriend, Jamie, that was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, look up this and this on this website, and it'll tell you like," because people are like, "Oh, I'm a Taurus with this rising." I'm like, "What the fuck does that mean?" Like, you know?
She's
what are
into
you
it.
supposed to do with it once you like know that info?
Right. That's what I mean. I'm just like,
It's over my head, man. I don't understand it.
it's not
It
that.
doesn't change anything.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't really
You're at a
care.
restaurant or something off the wall.
Oh, I'm a Virgo with the Taurus rising and the
Well,
Cancer moon.
I
Like,
can't.
oh,
I know the
fuck
make
it.
ribs back, but I can't have that.
Give them chicken pad thai. No weight. Make that vegetarian.
I like soy sauce, but then I'm getting mayonnaise. Fine.
Well, here's like
go sushi.
Not Mercury's in retrograde. My phone
Jesus.
stopped working because of this planet's misaligned.
I usually go work out about this time. I guess it's cocaine today.
It's fucking
That's what the
cocaine.
app said. It's what the app said.
And I follow this
Yeah.
fucking app, dude. Like,
Jesus.
I know,
Saturn and Venus are aligned. I gotta do cocaine today.
I mean, like, if that shit's real and everything, that really means something. Like, that's cool, you know. But like right now, I'm like, I don't give a fuck, dude. Like, okay, I'm a Taurus. I was born in May. Fine. What do you want me to do with that? You know what I mean? Like, okay, so like, okay, you guys know Casey and Tara. It's like,
Sure.
like I was born on May 10th. Casey's born on the 8th. Tara's on the 2nd. Okay, we're all Tauruses. We would just have one birthday. You know what I mean? Oh, Casey's nephew was actually born on the 9th. Okay, like, okay, what does that mean? Why that same week? You know what I mean?
Some people base their whole lives around it, man.
I know.
Yeah.
Like
They
his
wake
girlfriend.
up to that,
like his-
that
like his
app telling
girlfriend-
them, like how they should feel today or what to do or something. Like it's like today's gonna be a good day. It's
Oh, like today I'm gonna be an asshole because this sign says that. You know what I mean? Like,
Our main thing is adapting. Our superpower
Really
as a
weird.
human is adapting.
The only weird thing with me is like I've only
that and pushing on like whenever like you know
the only like weird
Whenever, like,
coincidence
times
I've
go
ever
like
had
whenever like you
is
know
that
things get tough we always like persevere.
I've
you know,
only ever
that's one
dated
thing
the
as human,
same
I think that we
sign.
do, like, the best.
oh really?
Yeah, all my girlfriends have been the same sign.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of
Wow.
crazy.
That's pretty interesting.
The brunettes.
No.
I don't
That's
actually.
a good
I
color.
don't know mine. I actually don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I know Rebecca. She's a Virgo, right? September 2nd. It's a
Couldn't tell you.
Virgo.
I think
I
I'm
know
a
mine and I know mine.
What's yours?
I think I'm a Roman.
Cancer.
I think I'm a Roman candle. I'm not for sure.
I make.
No, I really don't. I'm January 9th, so I have no
I
idea.
dated a witch, so I.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know.
What was
that
like
was
your day like?
interesting.
I mean,
Yeah.
dating the witch. Like,
Oh, let's do tarot card readings today. Go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand that.
what was like the craziest thing that happened? Like as a dating a witch.
Literally nothing.
It was less
It's
witch, more like a
not-
bit.
I thought you were just
exciting.
like you were
It's
like.
not as exciting as you think it would be.
Well, like, you know, the whole tarot card reading, like, okay, that's cool, but like, what am I supposed? Again, what am I supposed to do with this information?
He's all shit back. He's like, well, she did carve this fucking
Yeah.
pentagram in my arm.
Several sacrifices.
Yeah, I killed tons of rats.
Like, I keep this vial of poison in my pocket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, shit. But nothing I don't do on a Wednesday.
Well, I feel like all that goes back to like what we were talking about, masonry and everything. That's just all shit that goes way back. Like,
Yeah,
I don't really. I mean, it's not that I don't
the
care,
Wiccan
but
history is really cool.
yeah, I mean, if you
The
like-
origins and stuff like that is nuts.
yeah, you know, okay. Here's a question for all of you. Like, people are like, what would you rather do? Like, 1,000 years in the future, or would you rather look 1,000 years in the future, or 1,000 years in the past?
Probably past.
I'd go
You
past.
think so?
Yeah,
Probably. I just see destruction in the future.
me too.
And
I
you could
mean,
be wrong with what you see, and then you try to report it, and then that could be the reason it's that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
well, I mean, okay. Here's the thing. It's like, okay, if you see you see yourself 1,000 years in the future. Okay, does it matter what you do? Is it going to be that way? I mean, say that you're a
Probably
fuck.
look to the future.
You know, let's say you're a fucking billionaire in the future, and you look at it.
For sure.
You know,
you said 1,000 years.
okay, well, you'd be
How
dead.
would I be a billionaire?
We might figure out
Oh, what shit? Yeah,
how
like
to preserve our
if I did look. Oh, sorry.
conscious. You know.
Yeah, it really all comes down to conscience. 'cause-
It would.
but-
I mean, if you did look 1,000 years in the future, and then like you did see yourself, like I would remember that, and I would probably like try to calculate like when that would be, and I'd probably like look somewhere that I would fucking be able to like see where I was seeing and be like, hey, invest in this, you know, like invest in this stock. This is how I got here. You know,
Well,
what I mean? So it'd be
that's-
a constant cycle of like repeating.
Well, I feel like, okay, seeing yourself 1,000 years in the future, I feel like that comes down to like whether or not free will matters, like is real. You know what I mean? Because like again, like I said, okay, so say you live 1,000 years in the future, hypothetically. Okay, does it matter what you do? Are you gonna be there? Are you gonna be that part? Like, you know what I mean? But like seeing 1,000 years in the past, like you get to learn so much history, you know, and I find that so interesting. Like, okay, pyramids. I mean, there's pyramids everywhere around the
I
planet.
mean, how long do
Like,
you get to look though? Like, where do you get to look? Is it right in front of you? Like, are you like
just
just
absorb all the 1,000 years of history
Yeah,
in a
like-
second.
you come back with a nosebleed from hell?
Explode.
Oh, never again. Fuck, I know everything that happened 1,000 years ago. God.
I mean, hey, I mean, yeah.
So many people were brushing their teeth.
Like, you're fucking missing an eye, and everybody, you're like, oh my god. Like,
It's just hanging out. It's
Yeah.
just in the street. Like,
I don't know, but yeah, Jamie, I feel like seeing it in the past is like, because I want to know more. I feel like the more you know about the
I'm
past,
going
the
future.
more you can learn about the future.
I'm going future just because I think I don't know. I feel like I could look in the past. I could look in the past and be like, yeah, I knew half that shit.
Okay, we'll say instead of 1,000 years, let's say 30 years. Okay, so say you see yourself 30 years in the future, like you're fucking Dr. Manhattan or something. Okay, and again, it comes down to like,
Do you not know who that is?
I know it, Doctor.
Okay,
Do
you
you
just
know
look like you look confused.
I was trying to figure out how old I would be.
you'd be 50. You'd be 56 now. No, like, okay, say 30 years, okay? Like, and you see yourself in the future. Again, does it matter what you do? Are you going to be that point? So say, again, 30 years in the future, you're a fucking trillionaire. does it matter? Like, does free will like come into place? Or does it matter what you do? Are you gonna be there?
30 years, like we're moving fast right now.
Okay.
So we might be, I don't know, be 60.
Yeah, you'd be 60.
I don't know.
I'll be 56, so.
That's still old, man.
Yeah, dude. I don't know,
But,
man. What do you mean, like, does it matter?
Okay.
Like, will it change the outcome? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Because
Like, what I'm doing
having knowledge of what you're seeing,
Yeah.
make your perception of like what you're doing after seeing
Okay.
it
We'll
change the outcome of what you just seen.
we'll make it like this. Okay. Say you don't see what you're doing. Say the only thing that you see, and we'll make it like this. Okay. Say you see yourself in this nice ass house, sitting down watching TV, and you're a fucking billionaire. That's all you get to see. Is that. Okay. So now you come back to right now. Like, so say you decided that you were going to like go somewhere tonight, but you're like, fuck it, I'm going to change it. So say you have a couple different outcomes, but like, does it matter because you know that's what you're going to be? So what happened?
No,
Like,
I don't think it'll change.
It's kind of like.
so does free will matter at that point?
Well, it's kind of like, what about this? Like, it's kind of like going into a game, like a card game. Like, say you're going in and you're playing, say, blackjack, and you know what cards are going to come out. Like, say you have 16, and you're like, I don't want to hit, and before you knew the future, and you would have won, or you would have lost if you did that. But yet, say you see the future, and that way you win. That could be an outcome that changes everything, and it might not lead to whatever you want past that. So that's what I'm saying. It's like that little moment could change everything for you for the rest of your life. You could get a gambling addiction. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm just saying.
The outcome is you sitting in a house, a fucking billionaire, watching TV. That's all you get to see. And again, my point is like, does it matter what you are going to, like? Okay, so say
you
like
think everything's predestined? Is that,
Yeah.
You're asking if everything's predestined or you have a choice. Is like
it's the question of free will.
So you're not asking like even if whether seeing the future matters. You're just asking, do you think that like everything's predestined? You're not even asking like if it matters if you see it. Like,
I've seen
No,
the
it-
grid, so.
What?
I've already seen it.
I've already seen the grid, so.
Yeah.
Well-
Every time I do mushrooms, I see grid.
I already know that we're on it. So.
I see it in the sky. I see it looking forward.
So like,
I see it everywhere.
okay, so like
Like a computer, like it's predestined.
a simulation.
Simulation theory is really scary once you get
It is very. Just thinking
you
about
ever watch
humanity.
that documentary I showed you about?
I don't probably not.
It was one of our first podcasts, and there's a documentary on Hulu, I'm pretty sure, and it's the simulation theory. And it's really scary because like throughout the whole documentary, you're listening to like this one, like there's a whole bunch of other people that's talking, but there's like one guy that just keeps like, I mean, he keeps talking, and then about halfway through or like a third of the way through, like you're almost to the end, that you realize that this is an inmate in prison that went to jail because he killed his mother and father because he believed that he was in a simulation so bad. He believed that he was in the Matrix, legitimately. He believed that, like, he said he right before he did it, he said he had walked into his parents' room, picked up a landline phone, just like you do in the Matrix. And he said he picked it up, and he started talking into it, and he was like, I know the truth now, or something like that. Like, he was insane. And then he hung it up, walked downstairs, seen his, I think he's seen his mom, he's seen his mom first. He shot her with a shotgun, and then he's seen his dad, like, freaking out and running to go get something else, or, like, hiding behind something. He shot and killed him. And then he realized that the whole time, even when he picked the phone up, the landline upstairs, that his sister was on the phone. And he picks it up, and she was like, where's mom and dad? And he was like, not here. Or they're busy. And he hung it up, and he just sat outside on his front porch waiting for the cops to show up. And now, still to this day, it's used as the Matrix defense in court. That this guy made it so insane that he made it to like an actual defense of pleading insanity.
Yeah.
That he's spreading awareness now that's why he did the documentary. That he was like,
have you guys done any DMT?
I have done ayahuasca.
I was like, not this guy, but this man over here, maybe.
I've done ayahuasca.
What did you hear an audible voice?
Ooh.
Okay, so here a few times. Okay, here's one problem.
Me and Niles are just like, I don't know.
Here's one problem that I have had when I have done multiple trips. Is like I was never able to let myself go. Like people were like
relaxed or like relieved.
I was stressed. I never let myself blast off, is what a lot of people call it. Like when you smoke DMT, you just lean back and you blast off. I was never able to do that. When I did ayahuasca, I laid down on a couch, like halfway off of the couch. The couch was really low to the ground. The only thing I really said was like, I'm cold. And Jake and his stepbrother Chaz, it was us three. Chaz got a blanket and he put it over me, and was
Was he an ayahuasca dude?
yeah. They all three of us. Chaz had did it before us. I'll tell you about Jake's situation here in a second.
I remember this, and this is the funniest thing because I came. Okay, by the way, he's telling me the same story the day after, and I come to his house and like we're all like drinking and smoking and stuff, and he's just like, "You want to try it?" And I'm like, "Fuck no! What are you talking about?" Like, and it was after he told me Jake's story. So hear me out. Like he's went through everything and then told Jake's and then asked me if I wanted to do it.
Like I have done every second of it. Okay.
Apparently not. You ain't doing DMT.
I've done ayahuasca is DMT.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
I've done DMT other than that, though, smoking it.
Well, I'm sorry, that's my fault. That's the way you answered this
Yeah,
question.
dummy cheese Louise. No, I'm just kidding. No, listen. No, okay, so what I was
I
doing.
come back and I rebuttal so apologetic, but he's like, "Yeah, you idiot, you fucking piece of shit." He's like,
No,
"Look
like-
how I hit you right
That's
now."
how my nephew is. You idiot.
Yeah.
You fucking stupid.
You know something?
Like,
I ain't
learn
know.
something. No,
But
like,
no, it's just what you did say. You were like, "No, but I've done ayahuasca," and I was like, and in my head I clicked. I'm like, those are two different drugs. That's what I thought.
nope. But anyway, no, ayahuasca is DMT times like a fucking trillion. Okay. No, what I did.
Mushrooms.
Well, like I was.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah, I can
fucking
relate to that.
like no, I was laying on this bed and like halfway off of it, but I was literally rubbing the carpet, just keeping myself calm, and I could feel the earth breathing beneath me, and it felt like I was just floating along of it. Like I know I'm laying on a couch, but it felt like I was like in orbit of the earth and just like rubbing the carpet like this, like.
I wish I had a video of how fucked up we probably were looking.
Oh, so fucked up. My pupils were just as big as my eyeballs. I'm sure of it.
I'm having a great time, Jake.
No, I was not, because I couldn't let myself go. I couldn't just let myself be free. You know, but like one thing that did happen before I was able to like come to was like, okay, so say you're like blacking out or something. It usually happens really quick, but like it usually just like absorbs you with like blackness and then you're just out. It was like that, but it was purple and red and green and blue, just all kinds of colors and noises just going like, you know, just like, and then I'm just like, oh, I had to bring myself out of it because I fear, like a lot of things, like one thing that you should always get rid of in Earth, no matter what, is fear. Like that is like one of the most guiding things in someone's life is fear. Yeah. And that's another thing about the government. That's what the people want is fear. And like, there was
Adrenaline is the main source of everything.
And like, so I'll tell you about like Jake. What happened with him is like,
oh god.
So talking about like being in a simulation and everything, Jake asked like 3 or 4 times, "Are we a science experiment?" He kept asking it. He kept asking it, and like at one point he asked a few times. He's like, "Who's that guy in the corner of the room?" There was literally a guy there was a guy named like Kyle in the room, dead in the corner, and like he kept asking that. He's like, "Who's that guy?" And Chaz, being a sound mind and everything that he is, like he was like, "Dude, there's nobody in that corner." Yeah. And like Jake started to have a freak out.
Yes, because when you die, you hallucinate and see people
right
dead.
And like I honestly am a little jealous, and I'm happy. I'm happy that I think Jake had an ego death, and that is a huge thing that I feel like people should go through. Like it's so scary and painful, but when you come out of it, it's worth it. And like he like freaked out. He like stood up. He spilled. Ayahuasca makes you throw up. It literally makes you excrete from every hole in your body. And like he spilled the puke bucket.
Your wax flowed out of his ears like crazy.
Like we all had our own puke bucket. Like
Take some ayahuasca.
like everybody had their own puke bucket, and he stood up and spilt his, and he kept freaking out. And I remember looking over at him, and he was at that corner, and he was just like he like went ugh, and like he fell down to the ground, and like Chaz picked him up, and then he sat back down on the couch. So the guy in the corner dying was actually himself.
Wow, John, I love your memory. God damn it.
Yeah, it's a good memory. Yeah, and he's over. After that story, he's like, "You want to try it?"
No, ayahuasca is like.
Where do I have my bucket?
Like this ain't gonna do it. I need more than this.
I'm gonna throw up a bunch. I feel.
No, like ayahuasca comes from the Amazon and is literally called the vine of death.
I just had a really good burrito from Sheetz.
Can't wait to taste it a second time.
Yeah, let me get a bucket. It's big.
No, ayahuasca you drink and like you brew it down from something from the Amazon that is called the vine of death.
It's a root, right?
It's a vine.
Cactus.
Oh, fine. Okay.
Is it a cactus?
It's a combination of like a leaf and a root. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You dig it up.
Yeah.
And it's a leaf and your root.
The only
Okay.
the only thing like the only thing I haven't done.
You're wrong. Wait, what do you call me earlier? You motherfucking piece of shit.
Well, I'll tell you what. When you drink it, it looks like you're drinking diarrhea. Okay, like that's what it is.
Yeah.
But like, the only thing I haven't done is drink like peyote. Like that's the only we did a dry form of mescaline and like
That's a cactus. Masculine.
yeah, it's like peyote, but it's like a powder. It's like a dry. Like we took like pills of it, and like one thing that happened there is like at old Rudy's house. You know Rudy. Like we built a cabin up in their woods, and like I would fucking live in that cabin. I love it. And like we were in there and we did like the pills and everything, and I remember just like starting to trip, you know, and like, cause like, you know, like my whole like problem with my brain right now isn't really one of the main reasons. I mean, it is the main reason why I don't do psychedelics, but one is because it fills me nothing with fear and anxiety. I've never been able to let go of that, and like, but when we were in that cabin, we took those pills and everything, and I remember like starting to feel it, and I was like, ooh, and I rubbed my eyes, you know, just like this, and like with my palms, and I saw a being. Like it was like made of vibrant green and purple colors and made of eyes. And that, if you look that up, that is actually something that is like, that really is something I don't really want to look it up, but that is something like, I can't remember the name of it. And it was smiling, and it was happy, and it just reached its arm out to me. Yeah. But I couldn't go with it. I was too afraid. You know, if I would have went with it, I probably would have had the most amazing time of my life, and then been released of all my pain. Yeah. And like, I remember like opening my eyes, and every knot in that wood, like all the wood around, like this wood right here, was an eyeball. Every single knot was an eyeball just looking around. And it's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah. Like,
very cool.
I mean, I have plenty of trips I could talk about.
I was gonna bring up a pretty funny one. Did you have a story you wanted to tell them?
Nope.
Okay.
Tell my grid story if you want.
Go ahead. Do it.
Hey,
yeah.
One thing though, it's so funny because I was just telling this to my coworker Mary. If she's listening, sorry that you didn't get into the podcast for an interview. We ran out of time for your ass. So
God bless you, Mary.
Yeah. You ever seen Jimmy Kimmel? Yeah, she's like, sorry, Matt Damon ran out of time. That's gonna be the lady. That's gonna be like, that's the funny thing. Remind me to say it at the very end. Because I told her that because she's like, fuck your podcast, and I'm like, really, Mary? I was like, good luck getting on it. She's funny though. But I did tell her that story about Jacob's ego death and Jake's ego death. It was really
wild.
Because she was asking about I think what shrooms or acid felt like, and I was like, And
They are
explain that.
on two different
I said-
sides of the spectrum.
I said it's
like,
kind of like I said. You have the same like feeling in the kind of the back of your skull, but it's the visuals and the feeling is completely different. Like you have the, it's like you're at the same baseline, but then like it just like it's like a completely different thing.
it's
like,
like
that makes sense.
it's they say it's coming
Yeah.
from the pineal gland.
But what I'm saying is like it feels like it's in the same.
The penis gland, Niles. Which anyway, the pineal gland is supposedly the third eye. But go ahead,
But
Niles.
yes, I want to hear about the
yours.
grid.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's a quick story. The grid was
Nate, as long as you want, John's talking.
I'll talk more.
I was in Louisville, Kentucky with Kyle. We were seeing Billy Strings
Oh, nice.
and Michael Cleveland. He's a fiddle player. He happened to be there. We
He blind?
Yes,
Yeah,
he's a
that-
blind fiddle player. He's insane. But yeah, we dropped acid there at the venue, and the concert was awesome. And then we left the venue, and we got lost.
He's like, I wound up in a
The
sheets.
only contact we had was that there was a speakeasy like downtown that we really wanted to go to.
Like an old school speakeasy type thing.
Yeah, like secret, and there's
No
just like a
shit.
random
That's
green
cool.
door. And
Nice.
I've seen one that
you're
was like
supposed to know somebody there.
I seen one that was like it was a pop machine, and you like selected a pop, and then like you had to wait like a couple seconds, and somebody opened it up. And
Ended
then,
up
like,
at
you had to
weird
go to this
speakeasies
house. It's
in
cool.
random towns. It's always fun.
Yeah.
There's one here we don't know about.
But yeah, Kyle had met a girl the night before that told us about it, and
Cool.
so she was going to be our way in. But
That's a really cool spot. You gotta know somebody to know somebody.
yeah. So we were walking back from the venue and we got lost. We thought we were way closer to downtown than we really were.
Yeah.
It was like maybe a mile.
Oh shit.
But we were just walking along. It was probably 1 a.m, and neither of our phones for some reason. I think we were too drunk for one and tripping, so we couldn't get our phones to work for Uber. And so we ended up at this bar, and I met King Arthur at the bar. There was this guy there, and I'm still friends with him on Instagram. His name was Pendragon. Arthur Pendragon is the moniker of King Arthur and everything. And we started talking about D&D and everything, and he ended up giving us a ride to to the speakeasy. He was a super nice guy, and then we ended up buying drinks at the bar and everything. And but yeah, we were drinking, and then there was a super weird bartender there, and he was making these weird ass drinks. And the one that we had that kind of because Kyle and I were kind of like at the peak of our trip at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And he made this drink called 16 Shells from a 30-50. And
30-50?
yeah. And,
Wait, I don't understand. He made shots like.
no, it was a drink, but that's what he called it.
Oh, okay. I was like, the way you worded it made me like question the whole sentence. Like I didn't understand where you were
yeah,
going.
it's weird. I
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
None of this. But yeah, we had the drink, but it had this weird flour in it that would make your entire face go numb.
Oh
And-
God, fuck that.
It was super wild. And then, so we ended up going to the bathroom, and in the bathroom, the entire wall was grid patterned.
Oh, God.
I mean, you're
probably
saying,
tripping balls at that point.
I'm saying, was it grid pattern?
I think it was, but
we should
it
go there
was also
sometime.
a mirror
Oh
grid pattern.
no!
So
Ugh.
we saw like infinity of everything while we were in there, and then every grid was neon. And so,
Like
and
the
the bar
Matrix?
was dark anyways. So.
Like the Matrix, like
Yeah.
the way you see like.
I don't know if I can do
Yeah, it
that.
was like Tron. It was like neon purple Tron in that bathroom, and yeah.
Shit.
But yeah, it was a super pleasant trip. Nothing.
Yeah.
So you guys did acid? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Did you guys do like a tab or a drop?
Mhm.
See, like one of the best trips I ever had was kind of super awkward at one point, and like, cause like, okay, so say you ever see those video animations people make of a picture, but it looks like everything's flowing. It's just like a constant flow, and like that's what acid is. Where like shrooms is like everything's more vibrant. You know, like that's what I've always got. Like this girl I was seeing in Athens. This was a long time ago.
A couple hours away.
Yeah. There's a difference in travel time there, but no, like I've
Little tidbit.
like no, we were up there and it was like these two girls living together, and I think they had like a guy living with them in this one apartment. It's a pretty nice little place, and. You guys making out over there? What are you doing?
Well, if you wouldn't have fucking addressed it, man.
Well, no. Well, anyway. Okay, so it was like 3 people living together, and I knew the 2 girls. We actually graduated with one of them. I won't say names. Anyway.
For once in the whole podcast, he was all stabbing. He said a stabbing earlier.
This is towards the end of it.
Yeah, we're getting pretty close.
But I won't mention names. Someone literally tried to physically kill me, and I didn't fucking say anything.
Well, anyway, listen. Okay, so
that's all we're doing.
Okay, so we're there, and like the girl I wasn't seeing was dating this guy who got like all the drugs in Athens. Okay, like.
I'm glad you didn't name drop after that sentence.
I don't even remember the guy's name.
He needs
like,
his name's John Johnson. That's it.
I don't even remember the fucking dude's name. But anyway, he brought Molly over. Okay,
Ooh.
so I like we didn't snort it or anything. We all swallowed.
You
like.
snort Molly?
Is that what people do?
No.
I thought that's what they did.
No, you put in your gums.
Oh well.
You rub in your gums. Don't snort it.
Well, we didn't.
What?
We didn't snort it. We didn't.
I've
snort it.
snorted every
I
time.
have snorted Molly.
Good morning, Grandma.
Well.
Why? What's wrong?
I don't know. It's just too
Well,
much.
it's like cut with like meth. It's
Yeah.
it's a upper. It's a fucking speed. Like
and I'll tell you a story about it. It's really funny. It was actually
well, hold on.
It's actually the first thing I've ever snorted. I won't lie. That was the
Well,
that was the first one. So you're telling me not to do it. I'm like, what? Oh God! I was 18.
Well, oh hey, speaking of which, guess who got Cody to smoke weed? This guy.
And do acid and pizza.
Oh yeah, that's actually a really funny
I was
story.
gonna bring it up. All
right, well hold on. I'll make this short story. Okay,
Yeah.
so like I swallowed like a 1/10, 2/10 size rock of Molly. Okay.
A rock?
Yeah, it was like a little.
Wasn't powder form? You just were
No,
like, hey,
well,
look
I
at
mean,
that
it would be
thing.
powder form if you broke it up.
Yeah, it would have probably maybe helped your digestive system.
Well, we all did it, okay?
Give me hot snakes.
And like, so like, I'm like,
Snakes and bubble gut.
like I'm okay. At that point, like I'm tweaking. Shut the fuck up.
I'm laughing like Chris Evans right now. You know, he's like, I gotta tell you.
Listen, you'll enjoy this, Jamie. Okay? Like, no, we swallowed it, okay? And then that same guy is like, hey, you want some acid? And I'm just like, oh, yeah, sure. I took 3 liquid drops of acid,
Oh
dude.
my God.
3. And
Like
then
out of an eye drop thing? Like
yes, and then I snorted another 10th of Molly, okay?
Oh my God.
I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything. Like, me, like,
There's some guy
everybody...
named Kyle in the corner.
Kyle was Kyle. They're like... He's good. He's fine. Like, he's not choking on his throw up or anything. No, like, I literally was like...
It's me.
It's just the band.
He's just always
No,
there.
let's shut the fuck up.
Sorry.
No, I was like leaned over, like on, like the girl's sitting up on the couch. I was like leaned over, just just staring. Like, you know that when you do acid, your pupils get fucking huge. So, like, I'm just sitting there like this. I didn't blink once. And, like, okay, so the girl that was there that actually had the apartment, like, I truly respect and love that person, like, you know, and she had like a boxer dog, I think it was a boxer, and, like, super nice dog, one of the nicest dogs I've ever met in my life, and the only thing I said that night was, I went, your dog's ugly. and like, I felt like all the energy in the ground in the air just smacked the ground. Like, the room changed colors. And I'm like, no, like, I don't, like, I did. I'm just like, no, I didn't mean that. Like, I can't say anything. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? And, like, I'm pretty sure she started crying. I'm just like, no, like, I don't know what's going on. Like, and then, like, later that night, and the reason why this is one of the most memorable trips is because, like me and the other girl went to bed, and I, like, leaned, I was on my right side, I remember this, like, I put my arm over, I blinked, and it was 7 hours later. And I'm just, like, not tripping anymore, you know.
Rocks, John.
Yeah.
Right before you showed up, he was outside eating gravel. I didn't know.
Can't wait to poop that out later, you know.
I
Like,
take my belt off and start beating them.
but no, like, if you've never done any trips, like, if you've never done a trip, then you know. Like, if you've ever done a trip, then you know, like, sometimes, like, you may not sleep and you're just, like, zoned out even the next day, you know, like, it was so nice that I just blinked and it was 7 hours later and I was, like, done, you know, like,
When I did Molly, my toes grind.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking
Oh,
hate that.
tweaking, dude, like, tweaking, yeah.
I constantly keep my jaw like this.
Yeah.
If I'm
Yeah,
speeding,
yeah.
If I'm doing anything, like, if I'm concentrated, like, if I'm like, I'm just like, God.
No.
Can I get a
Yeah.
hot dog? Yeah.
Well, I never...
Thanks for tonight. I was just waiting in the car.
No, the fucking last time I ever did coke, I was going like this with my hands, just like constantly.
All right.
You know?
I got a story about the first time I did Molly. All right, this is a wild story. It's really good. So I go down on my senior trip, and when I went down there was a guy that, like, he came down and he was like the plug for everything. I'm talking. He was like, "What do you want? Tylenol? Put some gummies? I got it."
Yeah, I can use some Tylenol right
yeah,
now.
I'm like, all right, man, I need ibuprofen 800. You know, but like he was like, no, I got it all. And like the first thing I actually did, I was like, let me get $100 worth of weed and $100 worth of shrooms, because I'm like, imagine when I do the shrooms, I'm not gonna want to do them alone. We're having enough to share. I'll probably do it twice. My dumb mistake, I said, just put it all in the same bag, too. I was like, just put it in there. And he told me, he was like, you sure? And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. And then, like, later he, like, told me why. He's like, because that shit, like, he's like, that'll fuse together. Like, the weed will absorb some of the, like, the shrimp stuff.
Spores?
Being in this, yeah. That's why that's how you put a female plant and a male plant together, that's how they breed. Is that because they're just beside each other. And so the fact that they're in a sealed compartment in a bag, the weed will absorb. Weed will just absorb, like, it's
That's insane.
isn't it? Because they're both. I mean, I think they're both like from the earth. They're both like naturally like just ready to do that stuff, like pollinate and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, pollinate different things like that. How that works. But I didn't know that, so I'm sitting there smoking this weed. It's getting me really hot. but like it was the first night, and it was so crazy because the first night, like my buddy was like. When we first got down there, they were all like super excited. They're like, I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to do that. And like, one of them was like, man, I can't wait to do Molly. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, what's that? And I'm like, you've never done it? And like, one of my buddies looked at me and was like, dude, since you've never done it, he's like, your first line's on me. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then you know, I'm like, all right, because I'm like, I wasn't really thinking I was going to do it. I'm just like agreeing. You know, it's just like one of them things I won't probably have to deal with later. So I was like, cool, yeah, I know. And then somebody else said the same exact thing. Somebody else came up to me. I'm not going to be like John and really not name drop, but name drop. But I'm not going to say their names, but here's their social and address. But it was so funny because this other guy said it to me, and I was like, all right, cool. He said the same thing, like, yeah, it'll never come up. Later that night, I was already drinking, and I was like already having a good time. And a completely different group of, like a senior trip, the way it went was like our week was happening after another week that like these people were taking their senior trip, and it ended like so we had like 2 days where we could both like like both parties could like hang out and do stuff, and so they came over, and as that right before they got there, like I'm talking right before it, my buddy comes up to me that was like, I'm gonna give you your first line. He didn't forget. That motherfucker wrote it down. He said,
Just give me a minute.
yeah. Hey, I want to say, oh yeah, I gotta do this at 9:45. But he came up to me and was like, hey man, what's up? Come here. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm thinking like, a lot of people did that throughout the fucking course of the whole week of like just being like, let's go smoke. Like you smoke me down, I'm gonna smoke you down. Let's go do this. Like so, it'd be like a nonchalant way, like come on. So I go with him, and it's just me and him. And like we go and like we share. It was like a 4-person bedroom that we were sharing, like us and 2 other people. And he's like, "Stay over by the door and hold it shut." And I'm like, "What the fuck are we doing?" And like he like goes over and he's just like he takes a fucking dollar bill and hurry ups and does his line of fucking Molly. And then he's like, and then he does something I've never seen other than this one time of doing it. He takes a cap, like a bottle cap full of water and snorts it. He's like, helps it get it down with the drainage. And I'm like,
yeah, I've
like,
heard that before.
Yeah, but I'm like, I'd almost rather not do that part than just do the line of fuck. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm like, that sounds insane. And so but then he was like, after he did it, he was like, he grabbed me by the shoulder. He was like rolling, so he was just like aggressive, kind of, not trying to be. He was like, go over and do it. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm gonna do this right here. And I'm like, man, I was honest. I was like kind of peer pressured, never snored nothing. I was like, I don't know if I can do it. He's like, he looked at me. He said, you gotta fucking do it, man. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, and I just hurried up and did it. And then like it was so funny because like he's like, now take the cap full of water and do that. And I was like, I want to do this less than that. Like, this sounds terrible. And I did that just because he was.
Oh my
God. He was peer pressure out the ass, man. Like he was sitting there holding the door shut, like yelling at me, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right. I'm like, I feel like if I don't leave, you're gonna beat me up. Or if I don't do, you're gonna like, yeah. Somebody else in here.
Man,
But then I walk out of the room, like after we do it, like he was like, all right, cool, we're done, and it was a fucking big ass line. And I walk out, and then I walk into the kitchen, and I was like kind of like rub my nose, and there was a whole bunch of people in there, and I was like, man, I need to go check myself. So I go into this other room. So it's like I walk out into the living room to the kitchen, and there was another bedroom down the hallway that was like connected to the kitchen. I enter through there. First thing I fucking see is a guy on a fucking table with a square mirror with different lines of white powder cut out. And
You do more?
and it wait a minute. And then I walk in, and it's like, I mean, it's from me to Niles. Like that's where I'm at. I'm even closer, I think. And then he's just looking at me. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? Get in here. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh shit. Like, oh god. Like I'm like, what did I get myself into? You know what I mean? And then that other guy that told me he was gonna give me my first line, he was there, and he was like, hey man, this is for you right here. And I'm like, oh god. And I'm like, well, I already did that, and then I did it, and I was like,
How are you not an addict right now?
oh, dude, get this. It was so funny because he goes, I do the line, and he goes, and I'm like, where's the cap of water? He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, that's just what I did before. He's like, are you fucking stupid? I was like, he's like, why would you want to snort water? And he's like, what's that gonna do? And I'm like, I don't know, man. The last guy told me to do it.
Oh my god. And you went on an adventure. Congratulations.
It's not even over. I leave the room. After that happens, I make sure that there's not a plate full of fucking cocaine or whatever the fuck's right there. I walk out to my cousin. And my ex-girlfriend. And they're like, let's get a picture. And I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, let's just pose. And like, and I'm like sitting there like, probably like, I'm probably like out of it. That photo's floating around somewhere. And then yeah, I'm like this, like, yeah. I said, you don't want to go in there. They don't got caps of water. And then I fucking, and as soon as that happens, pretty much, I take like 1 or 2 more shots. And then they're like, let's go to the club across the street, because with the group that we went through, like the organization to stay like the week at this place, they had a promotional thing. If you paid an extra $50, like when you got there, they're like, you can go to a week full of parties and see MGK on like Wednesday. And I'm like, I'll fucking do that. Hell yeah. And so like the first night was this club across the street, and me and my buddy, we go walking over there, and I found out later that he had a similar situation where he'd just done his first lines of Molly. And we go over there, and I like blacked out. And I woke up the next day, and like it was Casey Great told me, she goes,
thanks for name dropping.
but it's not like she was. It wasn't like she did anything. She was just with us, and like she came up to me and she was like, you were fucked up last night, and I was like, why do you say that? She goes, you were in like one of them cages that like girls dance in, like and stuff like that, dancing. And I was like, no shit. And she was like, yeah. And it was just everybody that was here watching you and your buddy. And I was like, fuck! She was like, I mean, other people were dancing, but we were by the bar just looking at you guys like fucking rave out. Like, you know, you got, he was like,
You're jealous.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, I had a good night, no one even remember. Fuck you. You know, like, I was like, hell with that.
No, I feel a little bit responsible for Cody's drug doings. I got him to smoke weed and acid for the first time.
Yeah, I smoked acid. It was really fun.
No, Jay, I'll tell you this. I think I told Niles, is like the first time either of us did acid, we did it in Pizza Hut over here.
My buddy,
while they were closed all night.
My buddy was he was like trying to get some brownie points with the boss, and he was like, man, tonight I'm gonna stay over.
He cleaned the kitchen
after
all night.
He didn't even work that night. He was like, I'm gonna go in after they close, and I'm gonna deck scrub the whole place. Like I'm gonna take the machine, like I'm gonna take the oven apart and scrub
he fucking did.
scrub the grill. Like, he did a hell of a job.
I remember like we were in there,
just
like
standing there, like we were like
no, me and Cody, like I don't even remember what we were doing. We were just fucking around. And
you
like,
know what I mean? We got okay.
Well, I remember this.
There was
like
there's that mural up there, like that mural, whatever. It's like it's reflective. But it's a Yingling thing that was like inside Pizza Hut. And if you go in there, I'm pretty sure it's still there today. And we sit there, like, just stared at it. And we were like, this thing's crazy. And then we got on the roof of Pizza Hut. We got
on the roof?
Yeah, we were on the roof.
I don't remember that. How fucking fucked up was I? I don't remember
We
that.
were on the roof.
Because I remember, I remember, it was Dustin.
Acid. That's what we're talking about.
From there.
Well, I remember, Dustin was like about done, and he came to us, and we walked into the kitchen. I remember sitting there just being like, dude, you did a good fucking job. Everything looked sparkly and everything. I'm just like, dude, fuck yeah, man, this is great. And then I don't remember anything after that. Oh, actually, I do. We got back to your house.
We went and got McDonald's, and
we got back to your house at like 6 in the morning.
Yeah, then we just
and that was the first time I ever watched the show Off the Air on Adult Swim. You guys ever seen that show? No. It's like a 15-minute runtime of just trippy ass fucking shit.
What'd you say? Did you say Comedy Central?
Adult Swim.
It's Adult Swim.
Yeah.
It's Adult Swim.
And it's the first time I ever heard.
It's something that you never want to wake up to in the middle of the night.
After you've done acid.
You're like, oh god, am I still tripping?
Yeah. Because it was the song When I Was Done Dying, and I fucking love that song. I literally want that song to play during my funeral, great song. And then it was the animation to that song, and it's still the music video of it today, and it's Off the Air. And I don't know if that show's still on or not.
I don't know. I don't have cable really.
Right, I don't watch TV hardly at all.
I have every streaming platform they have.
Cable is expensive for sure.
It's $60 and you can easily just get Netflix, Hulu, and all of them for the cheaper amount. But
watch it. Look at that song up, Jamie. I feel like you'd like it. Oopsie. Or When I Was Done Dying. It's by Dan Deacon, and fucking great song. I love that song. And the music video for it. When I Was Done Dying. It's like a music video or like a song about him going through the process of dying. Like you're on a crazy ass trip, think you're dying, and this is just what he was seeing. Yeah. And fucking love that song, dude. It's definitely an all-time favorite of mine for sure.
I can tell you.
I wouldn't play it because that might be something.
No, I'm not.
That's definitely it. I can hear that first strum.
I
can hear that first strum.
I can tell you the worst trip. Maybe the worst trip I've ever had on shrooms was when I was on my senior trip as well. Because I took them, and just being a cocky little motherfucker off, because I was drinking before I did it, I was like, man, we're all about to go somewhere. I'm like, I'm not drunk, but I want to have a really good time. And I'm like, I've always had a really good time on shrooms. Why not take them and go somewhere? And so I took them and I went to the House of Blues in fucking North Myrtle, and I'm telling you what, like, it was terrible because I lost my friends instantly, and I was like, I was walking around.
What do you do on shrooms? You're just individual. You're just an individual human being. Going out your ways.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I
my
felt
problem-
robotic. I was like, what does a normal human do? I was like, what do I do now? I'm like, I don't have anybody to talk to or hang out with, and I was just like constantly walking around sweating profusely, and I was just like, and I walked.
It's like you're alone. You're like, oh god.
Yeah, no, it really did, and I was like, and then it started. This is what made me freak out. It's like once I realized I lost my friends, it's like I kept looking for them, but then when like the real panic hit was, I was like, oh my god, I'm in Myrtle Beach. I'm like, and I don't know the address of the place I'm staying, let alone a taxi service to call to get me there. And I was like,
you freaking out.
I was like, how am I gonna get home, or anywhere? And I'm like, and literally like my lighthouse like of savior was my ex-girlfriend that I had seen when I walked out after I did my line of fucking Molly for the second time. She messaged me and said, "Are you at the House of Blues?" And I was like, thank God. And I'm like, yes, I am. And she was like, me too. And I lost my friends. And I'm like, me too. I'm like, I'm in the men's bathroom right now. Come here. And I'm like, and I didn't even walk out of the men's bathroom. I just acted like she was gonna walk in. I just sat there at the mirror because the bathroom was huge. I just sat in there. I was texting. I'm like, where you at? And I'm like, and they're like tripping out. And she's like, and then like the people brought me home, like her friends. Like we finally found them. And I'm like, I don't know where I'm staying. She's like, is it the same place I went the other night? I'm like, yeah. And like they brought me there, and it was so funny because like I was sitting with so many friends and stuff, and I was just sitting down, and I'm like, I was so fucking terrified. And like I seen like a whole bunch of people I didn't know. They were over there. Like one of them was like a girl, and she looked at me and she was like, oh, poor little guy. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, I'm like, I did have a bad time, but don't act like I'm a child, like, you know?
But in the end, it
I'm doing
worked
adult
out.
shit over here.
Lost to the house.
See, like that's
Yeah. I got lost now in the blues. I was so blue. I didn't know.
that's scary, but like it worked out in the end.
Yeah.
Where I could tell
I
so
would be
many,
here, I'd be
I
like,
could
"How's
tell
the
so
blue
many
stuff?"
stories about like just bad trips in general, though. You know,
I
and
had a bad batch of shrooms I got one time. That was just terrible. Like they just made like they just weren't like. I actually made the mistake of taking them twice, so I realized it wasn't the fact.
you're like, oh, these are good. Oh fuck, I better eat more.
You know, you can have a bad trip because of your environment. I thought I could take them and be like, let me put positive energy around myself. Like, let me surround myself with like.
That's
better
so
energy.
hard. It's so hard.
But yeah, but then I took them and I was like, oh man, no, it's these fucking shrooms. Like they
What
just.
if there are different species of shrooms? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, and it also kind of depends on the age of the shrooms
Oh,
as
really?
well. Yeah, yeah,
Like,
because
they
like.
go bad?
Well,
I mean, I imagine like 10 years
I'm not
from now,
talking
shrooms
about.
aren't gonna be
I'm
good.
not talking about having a bag of shrooms right here aging like wine. I'm talking about the strain of shrooms, how long they've been growing. Because
Well,
because I'll tell you this. At Casey's house,
but
they went down with a bucket on a tractor and got a whole bunch of gravel out of the ditch and put it as a gravel for like their new wood burner cabin ass fucking thing. And mushrooms started growing out of it. And, like, we had Chaz there because he's, like, basically got me all my drugs ever. And we looked it up. Like, we had the book. We looked up everything. And it was psilocybin. Like, it was. And so we ate them. And the only color, like, it made red more vibrant. That's what it did. And it's like, I could tell. We walked from old Rudy's house up to Casey's house. And you could tell that red was more vibrant. That was the only thing. It's because they were young. It was a young.
Like, you didn't have any other feeling.
No, it made me a little warm. That was it. But it was mostly just the color red.
Like, you know that like psychedelic feeling, like in the like. It's not even like the back of your head. It's almost like I feel like it's like the crown of your head, like that you feel like I don't know, like a sense of like being picked up from that. Like someone's like was holding you there. Like, does that make sense?
It's
Like,
a sense of like
okay.
it's like a lifting feeling.
Like, you
Plus
feel like
there will
it's
be
lighter or something.
yeah, it's like lifting. There'll be more colors. You'll be a different temperature. There's all kind of things that play into it. But no, it was a young strain of them, so it was only like red, and I felt like a little more warm. That was it. We walked up there, and it pretty much had gone away. It was it. It was a young strain of shrooms. Like you say you have your own little greenhouse and you're growing shrooms. If you keep those shrooms alive
So it's
for
kinda
like 5
it's
years,
exactly like weed is. Like, is what
Yeah,
you're saying. Like,
yeah.
Like, there's different strains of weed. Like,
yeah,
I don't think there's one strain that's like even the same. Like, unless you grow it from the same strain.
exactly.
You
Yeah,
can probably recreate it, but it might not even be like exact.
and Jamie, you probably don't play video games.
I do.
You do?
All the time.
What an assumption
Really?
about somebody. How would you assume something?
You don't? You play video games?
How dare you?
What do you play? What do you guys play?
You don't. You play? I don't know that game.
I play Call of Duty.
Okay.
Nice.
I played other games.
Well, okay. Have
Mainly-
have either of you guys ever played Fallout?
Yeah.
You know
I
the
like it.
you don't like it?
No.
I was actually gonna bring it up because like it seems like he was like preparing for his currency over here.
No. Oh yeah, actually that is pretty funny.
See it?
There's a bottle cap over here if you want it. It's going to cost you another beer, okay? And no,
What? Wait.
no, it's yours, buddy.
Last one.
It's yours, man. Take it.
Yeah, one left. Oh, thanks, man.
Okay. But anyway, in like most of the Fallouts, they have glowing mushrooms, which is actually a real mushroom. We went to last year. Yes, yeah, and that was the first time I ever seen it. Like we went to we went to Yatesville Lake. We went to Yatesville Lake in Kentucky last year, and we went on this like pretty nice lake, and we went on this hike. Okay, we found this mushroom that literally it was like a whole bunch of different like leaves of the mushroom, but it was real low to the ground. It's probably the size of that little table right there. Huge, beautiful, beautiful mushroom. We looked it up. It's super poisonous. And I feel like the reason that it's grown so big is because nothing eats it, nothing touches it. Because like if you were to eat a little bit of that, you would probably die.
What if you just touched it?
I don't know, but we looked it up and it actually glows in the dark.
He knows
Like-
everything about it but that.
What's poisonous? We can eat like a tiny bit.
Well, it was said that if you would eat a little tiny bit, you would fucking be throwing up and shitting your pants for the next week.
Okay, that's how we know. We'll throw that out.
Yes. Okay. So we were looking it up and it said that
straight I was just
I was shitting balls, dude. Instead of tripping balls, I was shitting balls. But anyway, we went back later that night, and I was like the only person like being like, dude, let's go fucking look at it. And we went back, and it was fucking glowing green. Like crazy. And like Chaz, he stepped on a little bit of the side of it, and it glowed brighter. It's like the liquid, the gooiness of it glows brighter. Dude, I could have sat there and stared at it for hours, dude. So we go back to the campsite, and on this
I
stump.
just love like, where's John? He's been in the woods for a couple hours. What's he doing? He's staring at that goddamn mushroom.
Like it's just, it's beautiful. I mean, you know what I mean? And like, so we get back to the campsite, and there's a stump, and we look at it, and there's a piece on it glowing. Like, there's a little mushroom on it glowing, just like that one. It's the same one.
Crazy.
Like,
It's like
fucking awesome.
Have you seen
Like that
that?
is so cool.
it's like that bioluminescent.
It's literally what he just said.
I'm sorry.
If I could finish my fucking sentence, maybe I could get to a different place. But it's bioluminescent algae that goes in the ocean.
Yeah, that's
that like
fucking
whenever
sweet.
the waves hit,
Yeah,
that they.
it's like a blue.
That's what I was going to.
Yeah.
Look at us hillbillies just being real fucking smart.
I mean, we go we go from music to 9/11 to bioluminescence.
Yeah, I don't even know what we're gonna name this one.
We'll name it for them two right
A
there.
little bit of everything.
Country boys talk about everything,
You ever heard about that algae luminescent bacteria?
What if we didn't? What if we didn't laugh at all? But we just did cool things like this.
Never laughed and never laughed. All right,
Like,
we'll schedule it. We'll schedule you for another
God,
one.
that'd be
All
so
right.
tough for me, but like I would do it. Like I would just.
I know we'd be over here in the back, just like.
Yeah, I know it's tough not to because like I can't even help it. Like I'll laugh at John just like because I love the way he just sits there and he'll just like it's not even what he's saying, it's how he says it. Like like it just kills me. Like
All right, we're gonna do that. We're gonna have one where we're gonna call it like no laughs right here.
yeah,
So
that's a good one.
and like we're just
That's
gonna
good-
like
that sounds like a podcast itself.
No
laughs.
No
No
laughs.
podcast. That sounds like a good fucking podcast.
Yes.
I mean that it actually is really good. I'm glad I came up with that. Thank you.
We can do it.
We can do it.
And with that, we should just make another channel, just be no laughs, and us just talking about hilarious shit, and we just have to take a break and just be like, you just laughing at our shirts, just like.
It's just a lot of editing.
That's right. That's right.
Like
No.
I just read Dave Chappelle's stand up. Like, but I don't even laugh. I'm like, here's this first opening joke.
Try not to laugh. I don't know.
Here we are. Oh no, I do like how I said when I was like on like speed or whatever. Hi there, welcome to the podcast.
I have not done any Molly or
That
anything.
was the worst time of my life. Trying to go to sleep, laying in bed, and your toes just grinding.
Oh yeah.
That's the dumbest thing.
That's why it's the dumbest thing. He's sitting in bed. Can you believe this shit?
It's like, just like, look at my toes. It's like,
You go in the market tomorrow.
no, your girlfriend's like, what is that noise? And she pulls the cover off. It's just like your toes go like they're bleeding. It's like, sorry, I can't help it. Okay, like my toes just want to run. Okay, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
You play the shit.
My dogs are barking.
No, we really should. Like, I'd love to have you guys back on. We'll have like another podcast where we talk about everything. We just try not to laugh.
It's an attempt. We just see how far do we go into the podcast with no one laughing.
Yeah.
And then the first one that does has to like take a shot or something.
Yeah,
Like, it's gonna be like a
game.
it'd be
Okay,
a
that's pretty cool.
That'd be
I
a
like
funny
that.
one. And people at home can play along.
I'm gonna make a bet that I think Cody loses first.
I'll be like, I haven't had a drink in a minute.
I definitely lose second for sure. Okay, and then
I lose second, third, fourth, and fifth, and then find someone else.
and then I'll say this: like I wouldn't expect it. I think Jamie would be third. Yeah.
He might be second. I think he might be
I
second.
can fake real good.
I'm pretty bad at
Not laughing.
I've seen him like spontaneously laugh whenever I said something out off the wall, like from what you said.
I
Well-
watch a lot of Try Not to Laugh.
That reminds me. Have you seen that? What's it called? That smoof? Smosh? Smosh. I said smoosh. Smosh.
Smoosh.
Whatever the fuck.
Smosh!
But it's like that, like where they'll have water in their mouth and like they'll walk out.
Yeah.
And, like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think some of those are pretty funny.
Yeah.
Like it's like a.
Well, like I love getting Niles to laugh because like sometimes I feel like it's hard to get him in just like a full blown just whatever. Because like the other day,
It's not hard for me.
me either.
You unfunny motherfucker.
He is. But like one time, or like this was actually like last week. Oh, you're hard. Well, put that wiener away, dude. Come on. No, like we were.
Hard guy.
I was like,
family show.
no, like Niles like I went to Niles like picked me up to go to his house to move that table you're making, and we like pulled up to your house and I was like, damn, I thought that trash can over there was your girlfriend, and he just busted out laughing, and like the whole, and like I'm looking out the window, I'm like I got him to laugh, like Jesus.
Yeah, I was gonna say, stick it in.
Yeah, like just over there by myself, just like like.
Some funny shit.
He pulls out a notebook.
Oh, that's Rebecca. Wow.
Yeah, there are so many Rebeccas, so many Rebeccas.
So we're clear.
There's a name for your Rebecca. What is
Reba.
it?
Reba. Yeah.
Mine is Rebecca.
It would just.
There's
I just
Reba,
can see-
Rebecca, Becca, and then I don't know the other
I
one.
can just see John.
100 of them.
After he makes you laugh, he pulls out like a little notebook and it says his bucket list.
Scribble that one off.
Makes
Yeah.
Niles laugh. Get that. Got that off of there.
I'm pretty sure I know the time that I made John laugh the most.
All right.
When I rolled down that hill.
Oh my
After
God.
we got done throwing
Dude,
pumpkins
I
at
could
each
not stop laughing. Like, okay, so we were at old Ray's house, who also is dating a Rebecca. She goes by Becca, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, it was like this was time of the colony. Okay, like I'd go to the colony, drink while Niles was working. I'd wait till he got off work. We'd go to courtside, get fucking obliterated. We'd go over to Ray's house, which is pretty close to town, right outside of town, and like. It was like 2 a.m, frosted all over the place. We would get in a hot tub and everything. And like, I remember at one point, there was the neighbor had a minivan parked on the side of the road. Yeah.
Two dudes in a hot tub. Two guys. Two guys in a hot tub.
5 feet apart, so they're not gay. But no, like, I remember this night because the neighbor's minivan had their slide door open. I'm sitting there looking at it. I'm like, hey, why is their door open? And Ray just goes off on me, being a dick. Like, he's like, man, when you start to like fucking rent from somebody, you're gonna realize not to give a shit. I'm like, dude, I rent right now. What the fuck are you talking about? And then like, there was one time there we put like,
Yeah. We smeared a bunch of pumpkin parts on somebody's windshield.
it was Justina's.
We smeared.
Dude, we put like.
Say names, John.
Okay, I'm gonna say her name anyway.
Acronyms.
I don't know her last name. Okay, no, like we put a bunch of fucking pumpkins on top of her car in the middle of the night while she was sleeping, just covered it.
Did she know that you did this?
Yeah, she knows.
Oh, okay.
Before that, though, we had just got done because the pumpkins were starting to rot.
Yeah.
And we were drunk, and so we started throwing pieces. It was
We got in a fight, all of us.
Bob, our friend.
Bob. He actually mentioned his name earlier. I know who you're talking about. The one that came up and hit me in the face with it.
Yeah.
He's trying so hard not to name drop.
I know, I'm trying so hard.
He's like, God damn it!
Oh, it's your buddy who does 3D.
Don't say
printing.
shit. What are you trying to? What is it with you? You don't have to say nothing.
Okay. Well, anyway,
He's bringing it up. He's acting like
Don't
I'm
ever
asking.
tell John a secret.
I'm asking him what he's talking about. Like, I'm not even. I'm over
All right,
here,
listen,
Like, explain the story.
All right, to get to the main point of when Niles made me laugh, okay, everything was frosted. It's like 2 or 3 in the morning. We're all super drunk. And, like, so the yard is, like, flat, but towards the road, it, like, dips down pretty far. And, like, I mean, everything's frosted, so everything's slippery. He has a beer in his hand, and he slips, and his hands and feet, like, flare out. And he, like, rolls down this hill. He couldn't catch himself, and every time he rolled over, his hands and feet would just be out like this. And he just, like, would roll over. And, dude, I laughed for, like, 2 hours, dude. Like,
It was very much like a Three Stooges.
It was. It looked fake, but it was so funny. Like, it looked... I don't know why he couldn't just, like, use his hands and feet as, like... to stop him. He just kept rolling. As soon as he hit the ground, his feet would, like, they roll up and he'd just roll out. And he'd just fucking just keep going. Just like, oh my god. Dude, that was fucking hilarious.
This is a lot of fun times out there.
I remember, like, we have that fucking great picture of me, you, and Garrett in the fucking the hot tub. Oh my gosh. We gotta get Garrett on here sometime. I fucking miss him.
I talked to Garrett, and he's like, he actually laughed at we shouted him out, and I didn't realize he listened to it, like, listened to the podcast. He's like, no, you guys shouted me out. And I'm like, holy shit, you're a listener?
Yeah!
I was like, you got a fan. It was at the bar too, so I started walking around with a little swagger. I was like, dipping my shoulder every time I walked.
Yeah, like, people know me.
What's up? Yeah, can I get a water?
That's right. That's fucking right.
Sprinkle a little bit of alcohol.
Oh, shit. But yeah, Niles, I'll remember that forever. Okay, that was great.
That painting?
Hey, don't you talk shit about that painting.
We're not. We're looking at it.
That's this tattoo right here.
Hit me up, man.
Wow.
That's Nathaniel Thomas painted that.
That's amazing.
That's what I thought. Actually,
Yeah.
I thought that.
Yeah. Well, that was actually one thing I was gonna
No,
say.
I did. I swear to God.
Yeah. Well, that was
Don't get me
actually
laughing
talking about
at that.
trips earlier.
Because I've been here. It's not like it's my first time here. Like, we've talked about that painting. I just forgot, and I didn't want to. I don't want to assume something like
There's
that.
a lot of random shit hung on the walls.
Look at that thing. I don't know. Who looks at that?
I love.
Who
I've been
buys
looking at that
something?
all night. Dungeons and Dragons.
Who
so-
buys something?
I thought about giving that to you, Niles.
I
Why is
wish
that-
I would give it to
All right, wait for Christmas, okay?
Who buys that from a store and says, "Well, they hung it up there"?
No,
You
my
gotta
mom.
hang it up.
My mom literally showed up here and was like, "Hey, I thought you might like this," and gave it to me. I'm like, "Oh, yeah,
Is
thanks."
it Game of Thrones?
No, it's fucking Dungeons and Dragons, just
I
random
thought you said
shit.
Game of Thrones, didn't
you.
you?
I said Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, my bad.
No, yeah,
Same
I
old,
literally.
same old.
Oh, this is a pocket watch.
Yeah, why is that thing moving?
Yeah, it's been moving the whole time.
It's because it's haunted.
I've been wondering.
I actually love that fucking pocket watch.
Every time I look away, I'm thinking he's like touching it. Just to fuck with it.
I haven't touched it once until
know,
right
It's
now.
fine.
It's Kyle.
It's Kyle, yeah, it's
He's
Kyle.
like, I'm trying to get to the corner.
Corner so I can peacefully die. All right, look. We're gonna have to end this here,
Yeah.
okay?
Oh man.
And
Wait,
it's.
is there anything?
Wait, hold on, Jamie, don't leave yet.
No, I'm not leaving, brother.
Oh,
I think
okay.
you
You can end it. You can end it.
All right, look, yeah, we're gonna end it
But
here.
wait, is there anything that you want to promote? Is there anything that you guys want to say?
Yes, actually, there is. Okay, look. So December 4th at the Black Sheep in Pullman Square of
Huntington, West Virginia.
Huntington, West Virginia.
Yes, what music?
Jamie, Mary, and the Parts Supply are going to be playing there around 9 p.m. Is that what you said?
Yes,
Where-
it's the
you
Michigan
guys,
Rappers.
do you guys have your music on a certain platform, or is it just
We're working
Soon.
Yeah.
soon? Okay, what's it gonna be on? What's it gonna be on soon?
Spotify.
Spotify, okay.
Check it out on Spotify, Jamie Mary and the Parts Supply.
And actually, like, our podcasts now are on Spotify.
Okay.
But it's fucking weird the way they do it, so I'm going to have to go through and edit everything. But it will be up there soon.
Okay.
And yeah, so that pretty much concludes, like, our podcast tonight for the band Jamie Mary and the Parts Supply, or James Mary and the Parts Supply. My bad, okay. We got old Jamie Mary himself here, plus old Niles Elliott, the man, here. And I've actually had a really good time. It kind of shifted directions there several times. Cody, we got to stop talking about 9/11.
I feel like you bring it up. I don't think. I think you bring it up. I don't know.
I don't know how we got down that road.
I don't
I
either.
feel like it's something that
we
you need.
crawled our way back out of
Yeah,
it.
we did.
It's
Yes.
a need.
He needs to go to therapy. He needs to go to therapy and deal with 9/11. I don't know.
Well, I'll do a couple small shout outs now. One is actually for Niles' girlfriend, who is another Rebecca. She actually let me on one of her streams the other day for the game Valorant, which that game actually kind of sucks ass, I'll be honest. Like,
Wow. What are you trying to sell here, yo?
Yeah, what a plug.
well, it's not.
Actually, I hate that product.
Hey, it's not about the game. It's about the girl. It's the streamer. Okay, her name on there is like Dozy Ho. I think D-O-Z-Y is it H-O-E?
Yep.
Dozy Ho. It's actually kind of a pretty sweet name. I'll be honest with that. And then I will shout out this other lady who's actually working on fixing my coats. I told her that I'd give her a shout out on here. You probably know her. Her name on her YouTube, it's Madison Isburner. Okay, I think that's how you pronounce her last name. She for a shout out here, she's gonna fix a couple jackets of mine. Check her out on YouTube. She does very good with sewing and everything. Quit whispering over there. Huh? What are you whispering about? Okay. Anyway.
The production of the show.
Alrighty. And also, I'll go ahead and shout out to Kyle Kesey.
Yeah.
And he does glass blowing and everything. I don't know his YouTube or anything yet, so next time we will have that. And
And I got something to say too.
all right, go ahead.
I was gonna say it was a really great podcast. It was really nice meeting you fellas.
As always.
I can't wait to listen to some more of the music and stuff.
Yes.
So it was really good having these boys on the Sounds Good Homie podcast. And like I said, think we're gonna get played out by some of their music, and
Yes,
that's
yes.
what he's got ready. Then also, I'm really sorry, Mary. We really like to have you on, but we ran out of time.
We ran out of time. All right, Jamie, play us out.